Here we go, boys. There we go. We're gonna go here. We're gonna click here. We're gonna move. We're gonna move it over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over. Cause do the move it over. We're gonna move it on over. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna do the things, dude. We're doing things. I have some interesting stuff to get into today, dude. There is so much wild stuff on the internet for me to cover. It's just, I mean, it's the internet, dude. It's here for me to cover the wild stuff. And you might be wondering, why do I have racist Batman pulled up on screen? Why do I have racist Batman? Because I saw this happy ginger lad, this goofball McGee with his like looking glasses, but he's the Dark Knight. I know, dude. I thought he was already black. Dude, he's like Johnny Cash, bro. He's black where it matters, I guess. But there's this thing. There's this guy, right? We got Goofball McGee over here with his glasses, and supposedly this is a pretty wild Batman take. Now, I've decided ever since I jumped into the Ben Shapiro Batman review, which is bad enough that Ben Shapiro should delete his channel. Plain and simple, Ben Shapiro, delete your channel. That was the worst video I ever made. It's so bad that I would rather... I don't know. Give me half a second, actually. I had some front door stuff to do. But anyways, I after watching the Ben Shapiro review, I decided I need to be the critique on bad Batman takes on the internet. I have to be the bad Batman guy. Like, I can't just sit here and say, "Oh man, dude, this is the worst take ever," without hearing all of the worst takes ever. I have to hear all of them. I need the bad takes. I need all the drama. I am here for it. I live, breathe, and like I'm enveloped in chaos. It's something I die for, you know? And I heard this goobledy ginger man, this little goobledy gork, is an idiot. I hear he's an idiot, and I'm excited. I love idiots. I love downfalls on the internet. I love chaos. And if this is half as bad as Ben Shapiro's Batman, we're eating good, chat. We're eating good. This is gonna be great. I'm so bricked up right now. I'm so bricked up. We got Ben Shapiro's terrible Batman, and now we got, what is this called? Absolute Batman, the worst Batman ever. Well, not according to Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's worst Batman ever is the Batman movie. Terrible take. God, he should delete his channel. But let's get into it. Let's go, Ginger with magnifying glasses.
So DC has decided to reinvent Batman in the brand new series, Absolute Batman. Many people are saying it's amazing. It's a breath of fresh air.
This shit is gas, man.
Wait. Dude, look how sick that cover art is, though. I'm not the biggest Batman guy. I like know Batman. I like know Batman, dude. I know Batman intimately. Me and Batman have a lot of sex. A lot of deep gay Batman sex. But that goes hard. This actually goes hard. It looks pretty cool.
Wrong. This shit is gas! Like, is this what DC meant when they said DC all in?
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm here to tell you if that's the truth. Spoiler alert, it's not at all. It's literally one of the worst takes on Batman ever. Quick disclaimer before I start. This isn't some rage bait video. I'm not lying to get your attention. I'm telling
Dude, he's not lying. You can tell by the size of his eyeballs. They've grown 10 sizes since the beginning of the video. At first, they were really small. They were eyeballs like mine. Real small, dinky eyeballs. Nobody wants dinky, small eyeballs like me. He's a Giga Chat. He's got massive eyeballs. He's got the super eyeballs. When he looks at you, you're like looking into a fishbowl. You gotta pause the stream, like Chomps. You can pause it on your end, buddy. Or you can just skip to where you're at, dude. I can't. I don't leave, buddy. Don't leave. How long does it take you to pee, like Chomps? Why can't you just take the phone with you? What? I'll start the video over. I'll wait for you. You're the only person in chat right now, and I'll wait for you. How about that? I'll wait for you. I'll do a whole new intro and everything for you, big guy. Ugh. Bow. Oh man, I can't believe. I guess it makes sense that I wait a little bit. Let chat roll in. Let people fucking gibbledy-gook their way onto screen, dude. It's fine. It's fine. I know that other people probably would watch me. They're gonna see the racist Batman thing, or I don't know what I put as the main thing. It's like Batman approved, and it showed like an Antifa protest. Something, I don't know, maybe it was probably, I don't know, it looked funny, so I put it as a thumbnail. I have no idea what I put as my thumbnails half the time when it comes to my stream shit, if I even put a thumbnail at all. It's such a lazy thing I do. When it comes to streaming, I do this mainly so I can just like stack content. I stack content on top of each other. I just make myself some little content stackarooskies, and then I just republish them into the interwebs. I send them into the interwebs, and they go into the great unknown. They go into the great unknown, and they hit people right on the tip of the dick and the edge of the clits, and they do great things. We're talking about, I'm really pushing numbers, dude. Sometimes I get like 50 views. Sometimes I get like 20 views. Sometimes 100 views. Woo! 100 motherfucking views. Damn, boy, you be going crazy. You be going crazy with them views. It's like, damn, dude. Whoa, dude, we're going crazy. We're going crazy. We're going crazy. Crazy. It's just one of those things, dude. I'm gonna keep slopping it out into the world. I'm gonna keep slapping my micro dick on the table because that's what I do. And drink Sam's Cola because I don't want to buy Coke. It's too expensive. And if I'm gonna get fat, I might as well get fat off the cheap shit, bro. I mean, and save more money so that I can buy prostitutes or something. Boogie 2988. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, you think Harvey Weinstein just got it the power he had by just drinking regular Coca-Cola? No, it was by molesting people. Obviously. I don't do that, though, because I'm not Harvey Weinstein, and I'm a decent human being. There's like a lines that I won't cross. I'm not going to kill people unless they attack me, and I'm never going to just do the whole the Diddy party. I'm just not my thing, bro. Not my jam, if you know what I mean. Oh, he's back. We got a light chomp. So I'm going to do a whole new intro. So I did the Batman video recently, right? I did the Batman video by Ben Shapiro. It was the worst thing ever. This was absolute an STD on the eyeballs. It was pink eye. It was straight up pink eye to watch that video. And I think for public safety reasons, Ben Shapiro should delete his channel. Just delete your channel, Ben Shapiro. It'll do the world a little bit better. And it's not because of your right-wing takes. No, I don't care if you're right wing or left wing. That Batman video is bad enough that you should delete your channel. Pull it off the internet for safety reasons. I mean, it's a scourge on this earth. But I saw it with my great mind and intellect and my ability to sniff out drama and craziness and chaos on the internet. I found the king of the gingers. Look at this man right here. Do you see this alpha Chad and his fishbowl eyes? He looks like he's staring into your soul. His eyes are each 3 foot wide. I have dinky baby boy eyes. My eyes are weak. I got weak eyes. And I always thought my eyes were a very fine quality of mine. But no. They're weak. They're soy beta eyes. He's got them giggity schmoodle eyes. Those eyes that'll take you down. And I heard that this is a bad Batman take. And I am exactly... you're the only guy I'd asked upon stream. It is what it is. I mean, but this is the guy right here that I heard has one of the worst Batman takes, and we're gonna see at the end. We're gonna rank it on better than Ben Shapiro or worse than Ben Shapiro. That is where his take's gonna lie. Now, I don't read much of the comics, so I'm probably gonna be like shooting semen in the dark here, but let's get in it.
So DC has decided to reinvent Batman in the brand new series, Absolute Batman.
Hard. That goes hard, dude. That goes so freaking hard. Look how cool. He's got little specky specks. He's like, I'm Batman. I got a little bitty head, and I got this big specky bat symbol. And if you try to touch my shoulders, no giving me a hug, because it will spike your hand. It's cool looking Batman.
Many people are saying it's amazing. It's a breath of fresh air.
This shit is gas, man.
Wrong.
This shit is gas. Like, is this what DC meant when they said DC all in?
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm here to tell you if that's the truth. Spoiler alert, it's not at all. It's literally one of the worst takes on Batman ever. Quick disclaimer before I start. This isn't some rage bait video. I'm not lying to get your attention. I'm telling you my opinion, which I believe is the truth, that this...
Well, I mean, it's I mean, it's your truth. That's for sure, dude. I love when people are like, it's my opinion. It's the truth. It's objectively, I think I'm right. And it's like, well, no, this is all subjective, bro. It's all subjective. Now, you could be like if you were to come in and say, it's trash and this is bad and it's because they misspell on every page and objectively they don't misspell on every page, then you would be false. Like, that's like an objective falsehood. But just to say that you don't like something and then try to pretend to be objective is so stupid. It's so stupid. I hate when any reviewer tries to pretend like they're objective. I try to be objective. It's like, so you just list off facts about the game? That's dumb. That's dumb. You gotta insert your personality. You gotta put your opinion in there. Get subjective on a dick. Dude, a bitch doesn't want you to get subjective on a clit. She wants you to be, no, she doesn't want you to get objective on a dick. She wants you to get subjective. She wants to feel that, like, rhythm, that flow, dude. She wants you to hit that clit with some soul, baby. And you're over here just like, well, if I hit the clitoris from the right angle at Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I will get the orgasm. And she's sitting over there checking her fucking watch.
A is not Batman and B is an absolute dumpster fire. This comic is a disgrace to creators like Frank Miller, Jeff Loeb. This isn't the Batman they envisioned. I know it's a different take on the character, but what this does ruins the character entirely. So this comic strives to reinvent the world.
So hard, dude. Look how hard this design goes, dude. He's so spiky and cool, and he's got this Kevlar Batman thingy. This goes so hard. What are we talking about? This is literally the coolest thing ever. Dude's over here like, that's lame. Coolest thing ever. Now, I haven't read it, so it might be lame, but this is cool.
World of Batman in every way possible. What if a bodybuilder engineer dude became Batman? Yeah, that's not badass. I'm sorry. I don't find that badass. I don't find that different, unique, entertaining. It's just cringy. There's people all across the internet saying that this comic is badass. It's awesome. This comic literally reads like those edgy 90s comics that every single person makes fun of. It's like
no, they're good. The 90s edgy comics were awesome. What are you talking about, bro? You're a fucking idiot. The edgy 90 comics are the best comics. Those are the ones I used to read when I was a kid. I used to go to this weird witch shop. It was like this weird, like, it had like a bunch of weird bullshit. I don't know if it was a witch shop or what the fuck it was. You go in there and there'd be like all sorts of knickknacks and paddywhacks and give the dog a bone. And I remember it had this rack of comics, bro. And I got this one like called Deathlock, and it went so hard, dude. It was about this black guy that got turned into a cyborg. It was kind of Marvel's ripoff of Cyborg, but he was just like not fully a cyborg. He had like ripped his face off. He had a big old gun and he like killed stuff. And I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. He looks so grotesque. I love the art style from the 90s. The over-the-top, big, mean Mamma Jana looking dudes. The Spawn. Spawn is one of the greatest comics ever made. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. The 90s comics went hard. It had the best art style. It is peak art style from comic books. And if you disagree, that's fine. You can disagree with me. I don't care. I welcome it. I welcome the conversation, even if I disagree with you. But come on, dude. What are you talking about? 90s edgy comics were best.
a 12-year-old's fan fiction of Batman. This comic has everything. It has horrible, edgy dialogue. It has some pretty gay character designs. And if you can believe it, they managed to race swap another redhead from comic books. They managed to jump in there and turn them black. So after reading Absolute Batman, I think we can all agree that...
No, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That is kind of mad annoying. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what it is with redheads, and I can understand. He's got some redhead rage, bro. They show their rage on the outside of their head. They gotta look down at their dick, and it looks like they're running through a fire field to one bare tree. So I get it, bro. I get the anger that comes from your kind, dude. It's understandable. I have black hair, and us black hair people, dude, are just kind of werewolves. We're just kind of fucking werewolves, and we like to hide in bushes with steak knives at night and just beat it. I hear people do that. I don't do that. That's weird. But I get it. He's mad. I get it. I would be... It's kind of annoying when they just race swap a character. Absolutely kind of annoying. I agree. And for some reason, it always comes after the redheads, bro. The poor redheads lose everything lately. They're just in the biggest L of the white community, I guess. If you had to take and marginalize more portions of the white community, the redheads, they don't have anything. They lost Little Orphan Annie. They lost The Little Mermaid. They lost the Starfire. What's her name? Starfire from Teen Titans. They've lost pretty much every redhead character is black now. They just were like, yeah, you guys, you're washed. We don't care about you anymore. Get those fucking freckles out of here. So it is kind of weird that they always replace the redheads with people that are black. It's a little weird. It's like they purposely look through and they're like, was there any redheads in this? Let's replace them.
That Scott Snyder can't really write comic books, correct? And this is a fact, proven with every single page of this garbage. There's an abundance of absolutely insane creative decisions happening here. Who, in their right mind, greenlit Alfred's look? What is the haircut? What is the beard? Why is he an MI6 mercenary with like grenade launchers and sniper rifles? This is...
Wait, they made Alfred have grenade launchers and sniper rifles? Alfred's the Punisher now? That's the coolest thing ever. Jake Day updates. Oh, I've been talking to him. We'll do something down the line. But like, and I definitely want to do like fun stuff with Jake Day. When I collab with Jake Day, I think we're gonna do fun stuff. I want to do like wild shit that I normally would do, and just get like a normal conservative take on it while I spit fucking cum into the air. But yeah, dude, Alfred using grenade launchers and stuff? You mean Alfred's based now? Alfred's based because he uses guns? What are you talking about? This is the coolest thing ever. You're just mad about the redhead. I think you're just mad about one thing and you're taking it out on Alfred because he's cool as fuck.
Just straight up cringe, I'm sorry. So I thought Alfred was bad enough, but then we get to Bruce Wayne, the main man himself. What do you think when I say Bruce Wayne? You think the suave, charming rich guy, which in Batman Year One was originally based off of Gregory Peck. But now in this comic, they're going for something a little different. Let's just take a little glance at what they thought Bruce Wayne was. So this is the page where Bruce Wayne is first introduced. We see him hitting a bag. He looks exactly like Bruce Wayne has for the last like 100 years, saying some badass Batman stuff. No fear, no pain. And then out of nowhere, this big hulking transgender comes up behind him and is like, hey bro, I think it's my turn now. And just starts blowing the punching bag across the room with his big fat arms. Now the character design going on here, he has the haircut of some fat emo transgender kid. And that is Bruce Wayne. I'm not joking. That is Batman. Then we actually start getting into the backstory of Bruce Wayne. His parents weren't killed coming down that alleyway and they got mugged. No, instead he's at a zoo with his dad or something, and his dad gets shot. And the idea for Batman comes from the fact that he's in a zoo and he goes into some bat-like exhibit. I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know what was being smoked in the writer's room, but
that did sound kind of cringe, not gonna lie. Like, all of that sounded... I thought the reveal was cool because it's a bigger, buffer Batman, and it's like, that's interesting. And they were like, big sad boy, this is gonna be a different take. I don't mind when they do a different take. Sometimes you swing and you miss, and this part right here sounds like a swing and a miss to me. I don't know, the whole zoo thing, kind of cringe, bro. Kind of cringe. I don't know all the ins and outs of Absolute Batman. It's not my fucking forte. I haven't read it myself, so I don't know how cringe or how honest this guy's being about it. But changing it from an alleyway to a zoo, kind of wild. It was like the Amazing Spider-Man where his parents were like super secret agents, and I'm like, that's kind of dumb. And it's like, well, we needed to make his parents more like important. No, you didn't. But sure, they have a secret underground subway laboratory. I guess. Who fucking cares? It's weird. But I kind of see his point here. Yeah, why would you shoot a guy in a zoo where there is a million witnesses? Absolutely. That just seems very dumb. Unless he gets like... I don't know if this happens. What if they fell into the thing and Harambe killed them? It was Harambe, and then they put down the gorilla, and the whole time Bruce Wayne fell into a bat exhibit while his parents are getting killed by Harambe. That would be the better intro to Batman. What happened to your parents? They were mauled by a gorilla. What's the gorilla? Harambe? Yes.
Clearly, this comic is all over the place. It's a mess. And apparently, Bruce Wayne isn't some rich guy anymore. Instead, he's a working class citizen, working all these different construction jobs, learning engineering. So he's this super genius. And his mother is still alive. So there's no motive to fight that you're an orphan. Your two parents were shot in front of you, and you'll never stop on your crusade against crime. Instead, your dad got shot in a zoo somewhere. Your mother is still alive, and now you're just working construction jobs. Is this Batman? I don't really know what's going on here. I was shocked reading it. He's walking around like an emo kid, brooding. I don't know what's going on with Batman these last few years, but people need to learn that his hair doesn't come down over his eyes. He doesn't listen to Nirvana, and he's not gay. So then in the story, we learn about this gang of scumbags who have taken over Gotham. Very similar to The Dark Knight Returns, except in The Dark Knight Returns, you had the mutant gang. These violent creeps who were going around stealing, killing. It was really dark for its time. So you think in this brand new comic, this edgy comic, they'll be able to go darker. No. The people who have taken over the city, the big bad villains, are called the Party Animals. I don't get it. I really don't. They're wearing like clown masks or party masks.
Okay, so far this is sounding mad fucking cringe, dude. They did something different. I want to tear them apart, and I get it. Like, so here's the thing. I don't mind that they did something different. I don't mind that they went on a whole different take, and maybe Bruce Wayne isn't the rich guy anymore, which honestly leaves a bunch of questions to be asked. There's the problem with the Absolute Batman I'm kind of curious about. If he's not rich, how does he afford all his cool shit? Is he just a buff guy in fucking leotards? Because that didn't work out too well for the Portland superhero guy. He ended up selling drugs and going to jail. But it's one of those things that is like, just being like good at fighting isn't gonna do it. It's because Batman's suit is so overly like expensive to make and shit. There's a lot of things that cost a lot of money to be something like Batman. It's just like, what I feel like they're missing out on a bunch of stuff here. Maybe he's just glazing over points, like just blasting right past them, and I am getting skewed by his perspective. But so far, it just sounds like they made Batman not rich and fucked his backstory up because they wanted to do something different, which isn't a bad thing. The rest of the comic might be cool. We still haven't gotten to like what the actual substance is. And the Party Animals doesn't seem like a bad idea. You could have a bunch of goofy guys taking over. It's not that every single time Batman has a foe, it needs to be the most edgiest keynote thing. And it's funny that he hated on the 90s comics, and I'm pretty sure those were 80s, 90s comics were the Frank Miller Dark Knights.
Masks, I don't know. It's all very messy and stupid. When Frank Miller designed those mutants, they really did look threatening. These party animals, there's no threat here. Where is the villain in the story? I know they introduced Joker at the end of it, but where the hell is the threat? And now, finally, we get onto the biggest offense of the entire story. Commissioner Jim Gordon is giving a speech to Gotham, and he actually looks like Jim Gordon. He's white. He has the grey hair. He has the mustache.
He's white. He's not black. Yes. Yes! Just kidding, dude. That's just what I feel like was going on in his mind, dude. Honestly, dude, I liked Jeffrey Wright. I thought he was a perfect actor for the job. I know that it is a race swap, but it's one of those that I feel like you were looking... If I was looking at, like, a group of actors, right? We had a group of fucking jabronis lining up. You had Liam Neeson there. I'd be like, Liam Neeson's voice is weird for... He's not good. He's not a good Jeff Gordon. Then I look over here and I got some other dude that I've seen in movies and stuff. Oh, it's fucking Walter White. And I'm like, he's good. He would be a really good Jim Gordon. But I don't know. He's not really selling. And then I see Jeffrey Wright, and I think of all of the badass things that Jeffrey Wright has done in his career as like an actor and his range. And I'm like, Jeffrey Wright is one of the great actors. He's fucking phenomenal. They make a biopic about me, and they're like, who do you want to play you? I'd say Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright would do a great job. He's just a good actor, dude. I'm sorry. Why would I get mad about it? If I see somebody that's a great actor in a role, I'm not going to shit on them just because of their race. Now, if they start virtue signaling about it and acting like it's a big deal, then it gets kind of annoying. Or if it's like the first... Another thing is if it's the first iteration on screen, it is super annoying when they just go with fucking... Oh, it's the first... Like, we're doing the first live action... they're building all this hype because it's going to be the first live action adaptation of this character. It's so great. And then they just slap, like, something different than what you grew up with, what's in your mind, what you kind of cherish. You're like, what the fuck? But we've had, like, if you're mad about the Jeffrey Wright, there is the Gary Oldman interpretation. There is other interpretations out there of that character that you like. I thought he did a good job, though.
Stash. Then the terribly written villains enter.
You'd be played by Idris Elba. Like, Chomps, you're British, and Idris Elba can play anybody that's British.
Party animals, and they just start shooting up the place. Then that's when we get the glimpse of the best part of the entire story. Barbara Gordon. She peeks her head in just one panel, I'm pretty sure. And she's black. She is black. They did it again. Another redhead character just changed to black. Iris West, Wally West. Are we serious? We're just making
That's true. Like I said, dude, every time there's a redhead, bro, they swap them. They swap them, bro.
them black for no reason and expect.
Oh, dude, you'd be played by Idris Elba. You're British. He's British. Idris Elba is really good at playing British people. You could be Idris Elba. I think Idris Elba would play you.
Expecting people not to notice or expecting people to tolerate it. But I won't, and I hope everybody else won't either. Black Barbara Gordon just snuck her way in. Why? Think about it from a writing standpoint. She didn't even need to show up in the story. If she did, she should have looked the way she always has. I'm getting sick of this. Can we just start changing black characters to white? Can Black Panther be white in the next comic, please? It doesn't work that way because black people need to be represented. Wait, they've always been represented and you're just shoving them into stories for no reason now. You're swapping people out to make them black because you want to make up for all those years of not being represented. It's a lie and it's a scam. Scott Snyder is an ultra retard. Just look at the last fight scene. I won't bring you through the entire thing because I'm kind of getting sick of this garbage even just looking at it. But basically, Batman drops down to stop these party animals. What's the difference to normal Batman? He's basically the Hulk now. His cape has turned into Spawn's cape for some reason because he can like push it out and drive people through windows and walls with it. I don't know what his cape is doing in the comic and it's really odd. Then he rips off his ears, you know those things on his head? Yeah, he just rips them off and starts cutting guys, throwing them around. Then
Let's go, dude! Batman kills now? Okay, so I feel like we got a lot of misses and a lot of hits going on here. There's a lot of misses and a lot of hits. Batman stabbing the fuck out of people with his ears? Dope. I love this. My biggest problem with Batman is he just punches people and they go to jail. He punch people, they go to jail. They're fucking cringe. He's like, then they break out and he has to fight him again. Super fucking lame. Everybody knows it's super fucking lame. It's so gay and cringe. But then, now he's like the Punisher, the coolest superhero. Not the coolest. Blade is the coolest superhero. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Blade is the coolest superhero. But then, Punisher and Deadpool are like in those things. But like, look at this. Coolest thing ever. I feel like they had a lot of good ideas going in this. I read, you're enjoying it too. And the knife work, my lord, so bloody yet. You miss each artery by just enough. So he's not killing him, bro. He just knows where all the arteries are. So he's missing all of them. So he's just like perfectly shivving them. He's like Riddick, bro. He's like fucking Riddick. This is cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of cringe going on before this, but this is the type of stuff they'd be like, yeah, there's some cool stuff going on here. Like, and the fact that the ears have utility, that's such a Batman thing. Because that was the only part of his suit that I always thought had no purpose. Now it has a purpose. Look at that. Look at them doing new stuff. That's cool.
finally, when I was ready to puke my guts out because it was such a disgrace to the character of Batman, we get hit with this page. This bad guy comes up to him, edgy, cursing at Batman. Get the F out of her way. Batman then takes off his big loaf of bread logo, the big rectangle that doesn't even look like the Bat logo, and uses it as a hammer or something, or an axe.
Let's go, dude. His bat thing is an axe, bro. It's an axe. Oh my god, that's so hard. That goes so fucking hard, dude. The Batman's so fucking cool now. Like, everything. I wish they wouldn't have changed all the backstory and, like, did the race swap thing. I do think that's cringe. I'm sorry if you want to hate at me for that. I'm not going to be over here like, oh, black people. But I do think it's annoying when they race swap people. And it does nothing for the writing. They're just like, wow, they're black now. And you're like, okay, why'd you need to change that? Why didn't you make a new character? Because we wanted... This character was kind of doing nothing. Not that important character. Actually, kind of important character. I would just go swap the race. And, like, I think if it's done in a way that it's, like, in a movie where it's the best actor for the job, absolutely. Or it's not done, and I don't have to hear about it. Like, if the movie comes out and it's, like, our new iteration for a modern audience, and it just puts the person on display, that always felt gross to me because it's like you're parading people of color around to win points as a company, which I think is gross. It's me or the city, Batman. The Joker was repeatedly stabbed in the face and he saved the city. Yes, dude. Yes. Cool, Batman. But, like, I feel like there's a lot of weird choices, but then a lot of cool choices that I actually like for Batman being more based. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty.
And slices the dude's arm off with no regard for whether or not he lives or dies.
Oh my god, yes, dude. Batman cut a dude's arm off with a bat axe. Why are we complaining about this? What is there to complain about? This is way cooler than anything else. Oh, Batman has to be... Shut up, dude. Batman's cool now.
And then just goes, yeah, there's a hospital down the road. You should start running. That's some crazy
Oh, that's so hard, dude. There's a hospital down the road. You should start running. Let's go.
tough guy dialogue that a 12-year-old would write. And then on top of it, Batman then just starts screaming, cursing at this gang. You're gonna have to get the F out of my way. What? What is this? Please, can we stop glorifying it, calling it badass awesome? It's one of the cringy...
It's cool, dude. What are you talking about? Yeah, there's a lot of cringe here, but Batman's not a bitch now. Batman doesn't just punch people till they fall asleep. Batman actually does shit. You think that guy's gonna, like, is gonna meat cleaver anybody anymore? No, because he doesn't have a fucking arm. What a pussy. He doesn't have an arm anymore. Oh, you think you're tough? Well, I have a bat axe. I have a bat axe. That's badass.
Things I've ever read. So Absolute Batman, without a doubt, is an absolute disaster. It's a waste of paper, a waste of ink, and a complete and utter waste of time. Batman is a detective. Frank Miller knew this. Jeff Loeb knew this. He's a normal guy who's smart enough as it is and knows how to kick ass and solve crimes. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's definitely not some transgender emo kid. So take your Absolute Universe and stick it up your ass.
This isn't the one,
So DC has decided to reinvent Batman in the brand new series, Absolute Batman. Many people are saying it's amazing. It's a breath of fresh air.
There's a video where he says some extra wild shit, dude. But I'm like...
So DC has decided to...
That was, like, wild, but I want to see... Here we go.
So Absolute Batman issue 2 is out, and my expectations were low, but I didn't think it would be this bad. Trust me, the mediocrity just continues. Before we get into this pile of dog crap, I'd like to thank the Midnight Drop for sending a massive amount of people over to my channel with his insane mental breakdowns.
Like, it's so weird how, like, people who just hate certain things, you just slap the label woke into it.
I'm retarded.
Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see.
Yeah, I just elbow rocks. I just elbow rocks.
Some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of...
Bro says the disabled community while looking through these goddamn telescopes that he has for glasses. I love it. This guy's amazing. The greatest YouTuber on the platform, easily, hands down. Nobody even can, like, hold a bar to this guy.
People. Newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best advice.
Wait, hold on. What did he say?
Label woke into it.
I'm retarded.
Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best advice I would give to you. Right?
Oh my god.
Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best.
Newsflash. Everybody is. Everybody's scared of black people. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this guy? Dude, I'm so fucking broken right now. Oh my god. What the fuck? Newsflash, everybody is. You fucking troglodyte. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Bro, bro's hiding in his mom's basement because he thinks that if he goes outside, he might see one black person, bro. And he thinks if he goes outside, bro, he might accidentally get race swapped. Oh my god, dude. Black people walk past. He watches a movie with black people. What did they do to Jim Gordon? Oh my god, dude. He's trying to steal my wallet. Oh, it's just a movie. Oh, we're good. Oh, is that Cam Patterson? What the fuck? Dude, black people. Scary.
People. Newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
The best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away.
You can't stop.
Bro, what the fuck? That clip, that was his clip after that? Just get away from black people. You see them, you run. Oh, dude, if their skin shit, I carry one of those paint sheets from Walmart, right? From Lowe's and Home Depot. I got one from each of the stores, and I have like white to brown to browner to black, and if it hits the not mayonnaise, that motherfucker not mayonnaise, I'm running, dude. You best believe I'm hitting that crosswalk and going to the other side of the road. Woo! Jesus Christ, bro.
The fuck away.
You can't stop looting and burning countries to the ground. Next time you're driving to work and you're enjoying your Marxist Batman comic, try not to get robbed or shot by your fellow brothers to create.
Bro's going fucking wackadoodly mode, dude. Bro's hitting no brakes, just all gas, bro. He's running stop signs, hitting children. He's on that death-proof grind, bro. What the fuck?
Create an argument, you actually have to make some valid points. You can't just dance around throwing your arms up in the air, making weird noises like you did. It makes you look like a Neanderthal who hasn't picked up a comic except Watchmen in his entire life. Stay in your own lane and go back to anime.
I thought he was gonna say Africa. I literally thought he was about to say Africa. What the fuck, dude? He was on that track, bro. He was on that track where he was like, go back to, all you read is, wait, hold on. Ireland. Oh, he's Scottish. Wait, I don't know what the fuck he is. Or Ireland. Go back to reading your fucking this, and then go back to, and I thought he was gonna say, go back to Africa. I thought he was gonna do that, bro, but he was just like, we lucky terms anime. Oh, what the fuck, bro? This guy's wildin'.
OIQ mental retard. Anyways, I'm a bit late to the party on this
He
one.
fucking bleeped retard? Why did he bleep retard after just going on a fucking race rant? What are you scared you're gonna lose the 2 cents of monetization you were gonna get from that fucking, like, super racist rant you just went on? That wildly racist rant, but oh, we gotta bleep retard. Whoa, dude, retards, that's a step too far for me, guys. I don't believe you should say the word retard. Like, we gotta bleep it out, we gotta censor it, but black people suck and you should be scared of them. What the fuck? What the fuck did he say? What are we talking about here, bro? Like, are you about it or are you not about it? Because right now I'm confused.
Because to tell you the truth, I didn't actually want to read on in Absolute Batman, but reluctantly I did. In my mind, I thought that it would have to be better than issue 1, with its edgy dialogue that a 10-year-old would write, and it's
a cool 10-year-old. And dude, Bruce Wayne doesn't look that bad. What the fuck are we talking about here? He's got long hair he's got long hair. Whatever, dude. Batman's got this grind, dude. Hold on, dude. Let's just get, what side is it? Like this side? She's got like a fucking, I'm gonna fuck you up, dude. He doesn't care, dude. He's here to fuck you up, bro. He's here to fuck up people, dude. He's not pussy Batman anymore. He doesn't have time to do his hair. He's cutting people up with axes, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
cringy character designs. But I was entirely wrong. All of that is still here. And also, it features one of the worst drawings of Bruce Wayne I've ever seen in a comic. So some people would call Absolute Batman woke, but I'd prefer to break it down and explain to you what it really is. It's just another mediocre story infused with undeniably...
I just don't know why this guy cares about Batman so much. Wait, hold on. When I see black people walking on the side of the road, I go to the other side because it's very, very scary and shit. I see them and I think that it is just too scary and I want them out of my comic books. Dude, what the one day, dude, I'm gonna get famous enough, this shit's gonna get clipped and pulled out of context and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna fucking love it, dude. Because, like, here I am, like, arguing against this shit, and they're gonna be like, remember when King Jimmy Coach did the emo racist song? Awesome. Fucking based. Hilarious.
Lazy identity politics by mentally ill leftists. Let's just get that through your thick skull first of all. Left-wing retards like Scott Snyder love this crap because they...
Dude, why the fuck is he censoring retard? It's the most annoying thing in this video. Dude, you said so much edgy shit, but oh, retard's a step too far, dude.
A pat on the back every single time they force a black person into their stories. Just because it's an alternate universe doesn't give you the right to race swap characters.
It does. It's an alternate universe. Obviously, the backstory is completely different, so it doesn't. It's not like hard to believe that Jim Gordon, some black chick saw that mustache and says, "I want to sit on that mustache. I want that mustache to kiss my nice, sweet pussy lips. They're caramel brown, they're beautiful, and I want my mustache to really tinkle my clit." And then here we go. We got Jim Gordon's daughter now. That's how it happens. You have a kid with a woman that's brown. Your kid will then be brown. Except for my kid, for some reason. My kid fucking came out mayonnaise fucking white. I don't like. It's like my kid looked past all the melanin on both my side and my wife's side and said, "Fuck no, dude, I'm going for blue eyes and white." My kid just is fucking racist, I guess. I love her though. She's the most beautiful little girl in the world.
And I thought everybody already knew this because they've already race swapped people in the regular universe as well. So that argument about the alternate universe is beyond invalid. It's actually just brain dead. And in issue 2 of Absolute Batman, Black Barbara...
I think they should have changed her name. I think they shouldn't have named her Barbara. They shouldn't have had her be Barbara. They should have had her been like Denise or something. So just change her name. I think if they would have changed her to a different character, this argument wouldn't have been there. Just Jim Gordon in this universe had a different wife, a different daughter, and it's a new character. And Barbara still exists. If Barbara still exists, but in like a different capacity from like a different marriage or something, I think that would have been way cooler. And that's something I have a problem with. And I hate these people that go out there and get really mad at fucking Miles Morales. It's like, you always say they need to create new characters. Look, they fucking created a new character, a new universe. It's a different Spider-Man. What are you complaining about? Miles Morales isn't Peter Parker. Like, I think that's a good thing where they create a new character. It's a new backstory, a new person. It's different parents, different backstory. Everything's different, including like, and they're like, oh, now and the skin color is different too, because it's a different fucking person. So like, I get the sentiment about not liking characters being race swapped. I do. I understand it. I wish they would just create a new character, especially when you're already in a new universe. It makes no sense why they had to keep Barbara, keep her name being Barbara, and also change her race. They could have had Barbara as well as this new character, and Barbara just kind of be in the background. Maybe even do a whole different direction where Barbara like goes from being a villain to then Batgirl. That would have been cool. And it's stuff that I think that people don't think about. They're like, we need more representation in this, and then they do something stupid like that. I can understand that sentiment. What I can't understand is being scared of black people just because they're black. That's fucking retarded.
Gordon shows up once again, but this time she actually gets to speak, and she's insufferable. We get this scene where Jim Gordon, Harvey Bullock, and Black Barbara are all in the hospital with Gordon after the pathetic party animals attack. Harvey Bullock is some dumbass who wants to arrest
Yeah, some people don't like Miles Morales. Some people say Miles Morales isn't good. I didn't like Miles Morales in the Sony Spider-Man games because he was basically Steve Urkel in tights. But I love I love the end of the Spider-Verse movies.
Batman, and Black Barbara has to step in and school him. Remember that part in Batman Year 1 where Jim Gordon and the entire police force are planning to capture Batman and arrest him, and then some race-swapped token black stepped in and told everybody the truth.
The way he says black is just so wild. Black! One token black! It just got so much vitriol behind it. He's trying to scare them back, dude. They scare him, he's got to scare him back, dude. He's got to show them that he's the alpha Chad with his big-ass fucking intimidating eyeballs. He's like, you might be black, but I have a bunch of freckles, so that makes me almost brown.
Me neither. Why was that? Oh yeah, it's because Frank Miller can actually write, unlike most people working in comics today. So then Martha Wayne, who should be dead by the way, comes to visit Jim Gordon in the hospital. Why is she in the story again? I have a prediction as to why they'd leave Martha Wayne alive in this universe. Maybe it's so later on she can become some well-known villain as a big plot twist. But that's just what I'm thinking. I don't know any other reason why she should actually be in the story. Anyways, then we get to one of the most annoying parts in this comic.
Look at chat. Disgusting black creatures. The ass ginger says it. Look at it. He's the ass ginger, bro. Let's go. These are all ass hairs. Let's go, dude. Fucking snaggletooth ginger man.
Martha Wayne comes in and asks, how's Gordon doing? Gordon, like a normal human being, tries to respond and instead gets interrupted by this stupid bitch. It turns out she was talking to Babs instead. What? What in the name of Jesus Christ am I reading? Why is this cringe dialogue included in the comic? If you can't see why this comic is unbelievably cringy, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But as it continues, I actually think this scene is one of the better ones in the comic. Jim Gordon and Martha Wayne share a cigarette whilst talking about the death of Thomas Wayne. Just when I thought this story wasn't actually that bad, then we get this flashback of young Bruce staying inside and not going out with his friends. His mother tries to help him out, saying, "Man, just go outside." And then, wouldn't you know it, he starts screaming into her face. This might be some sort of habit for this universe's Bruce Wayne. When you don't like something, flip out like a retard and start yelling and cursing. What happened to this?
You don't need to censor retard after all the shit you've said in this video. Like, why are you censoring yourself when you're the fucking wild ginger over here?
Stoic Batman. I don't care, alternate universe or not, he doesn't resemble Batman or Bruce Wayne in any way. At the very end of this issue, we get another flashback of young Bruce. Young Selena Kyle comes to visit Bruce, and am I the only one who despises this backstory for Batman? In the TV show Gotham as well, they did the same cringy storyline. When they did that before, it sucked horribly. And if that's what we're getting here, this comic is going to reach a new level of crap. And then we get to the art. So I understand being abstract and your art being a little unorthodox. Just look at Tim Sale's art on Batman. Sure, it can look a bit weird at times, but it never feels out of place because that was the style in which Tim Sale drew. Rest in peace, by the way, to that absolute comics legend. But in this comic, there's no set abstract art style. The whole comic is totally normal, except for just 2 panels. Now, when I first saw these, I had to spend 40 minutes picking myself back up off the ground and wiping away the tears of laughter. The first one occurs when Bruce Wayne confronts Joe Chill in prison. Alfred, who still looks idiotic by the way, is
Dude, Alfred looks based. I'm sorry, dude. Some of these design choices I vehemently disagree with this guy on. Now, I haven't read the comic. I don't fucking know. But I do know that it's the fact that Batman uses an axe, awesome. Has ear knives, awesome. Like, the Batman's costume and how big and cool he looks, awesome. The story sounds pretty ass, though. I'm not gonna lie. I will agree with him from what he's told me from his biased, skewed point of view. It does seem pretty ass. I don't know what they were trying to do with this, but everything, like, in terms of action, it sounds pretty cool. Like, Alfred using weapons and shit, awesome.
watching them and narrating. What he says to Chill, I don't know, but I can only imagine. Oh yeah, this is gonna be badass. I wonder what Bruce is. Oh my sweet mother of God. Who hit Robert Pattinson with a bus? You couldn't have redone this one panel. Really? And look at what we got. If you read Walt Simonson Thor, you see great use of shadows in the art. This is the exact opposite of that. He looks less like a wealthy gentleman and more like My Chemical Romance. The second instance of unforgivably bad art.
It just feels like this is influenced by a lot of things that aren't Batman, and that's like, I get that. I think that if they were, when you're doing a new universe, you can go in a different direction. I vehemently believe that you can take things in a new direction when you do fucking new universes. That's part of the point of making a new universe, and I think they have the right to do that. Now, the design choices are a little odd. Batman, yeah, he looks kind of weird, dude. He looks fucking wackadoodle. He looks all fucking emo and shit. And it's like, it's one of those things that I don't mind them doing, like, character changes like that are like slightly different, and they're like, oh, we really like the Crow, we want to inject some of the Crow into Batman, and it's like, yeah, dude, cool, do that, but like, you change the character completely where you're leaving plot holes. Like, I don't understand where Batman got all the money to do this shit if he wasn't rich. Like, how the fuck did he get an axe chest plate if he's not rich? How did he afford knife ears if he's not rich? There's a lot of questions that he's either glazing over or the comic glazes over, which would be issues that I would pick up on. But, like, the action set pieces so far, that seems dope.
He looks less like a wealthy gentleman and more like My Chemical Romance. The second instance of unforgivably bad art is in this scene where Bruce is sitting down playing poker with his friends. By the way, his friends are all Batman villains as well, which I suppose isn't the worst idea, but it's still a bit goofy to listen to Harvey make 1,000 puns about coins and being two-faced. We get it. Now stop it. It's painful to read. Now, once again, I don't know what the artist was.
There's actually, this is probably a nod. There's this amazing Batman the Animated Series episode. It's like, I've never laughed this hard at a cartoon as this episode of Batman in the Animated Series. Basically, all the villains are playing a poker game together, and one of them is Clay, or the crocodile or some shit, and that's who Batman's disguised as. And it's just a funny episode. It's a really funny episode. There's some great lines from it, and it's probably a nod to that.
Smoking, but goddamn, what is going on here? Bruce literally looks like Frankenstein. What's up with his forehead? You couldn't have went back and redrew that? You actually left that in? I know I'm gonna get some nutjob TikTok kids commenting on this video saying, bro, you can't comment on appearances, just look at yourself in the mirror. Forget about me for just
Facts, dude. It's like me saying if somebody's objectively good looking or not. I mean, I look in a mirror all the time and I'm like, god damn, you ugly as fuck. You got some weird ass face problems. You got weird ass face problems, King Jiffy. It's an issue. You need to work on your weird ass face. You need to work on your weird ass face and get the shit figured out. And I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. My scraggliness. I can do something about my scraggliness, actually. I definitely can do something about that. It's called using a razor. But this guy too. I mean, you're over here talking shit about how Bruce looks, and you got the same fucking forehead. I got that forehead too, dude. I got a big ass forehead. It's just an issue, dude. Sometimes you get dealt the hand of getting a 5 head, and that it looks like this Bruce Wayne did. So, shit happens when you party naked. Bring wet wipes.
1 second. This is Bruce Wayne we're talking about. It doesn't matter if I'm four-eyed or ginger. This is Batman. He shouldn't look like a monkey. As this dumpster fire continues, we get an insane amount of unnecessary swearing out of everybody in the story. And the highlight of the crappy writing is when Alfred starts talking about his military tactics. Advance forward, retreat and regroup. It all comes off like a load of jargon. And what it results in is Alfred saying that maybe Batman doesn't retreat and regroup. Maybe he's just one advance forward.
That art looks so. Some of this art does look hard as fuck. Like, that is fucking hard, dude. That looks so cool.
And AF. What? What does this even mean? Can anybody explain it? Batman advance forward. Nope. That doesn't make sense. I'm being genuine here. No satire. What is he talking about? And more importantly, is it needed in the story? Batman ends this issue by crushing a load of cop cars with his massive construction vehicle Batmobile. He also led the party animals up to the...
That Batmobile's dumb. That Batmobile's really fucking stupid. Why would you... I don't think anybody who understands how haul trucks work would utilize a haul truck as a Batmobile. It just has no versatility. You're just going to crush everything because they're fucking massive.
The top of a skyscraper and then blew it up. I don't care what anybody says. Stop making excuses. He just blew them up with no regard for
Based.
their lives. I wouldn't care about this if it was established that in this universe, Batman does kill. But no, Scott Snyder went out of his way in issue 1 to mention the fact that he's non-lethal. So none of this makes
Yeah, dude, he's non-lethal except for when he kills people. That's the way we like it.
sense. Stop typing your angry comments and just look at the damn page. That cop car is like 80 feet in the air. What's going on? I thought he was non-lethal. Nope. He's just blowing cop cars 80 feet up into the air, blowing up buildings, and then walking around like he's Gandhi. This Batman is a genocidal maniac, but then at the same time, a non-lethal pacifist. I'm sick and tired of this trash, and I'm done giving it a pass. It's not even well written or drawn. If you call yourself a comic fan, you should be reading older and better comics. If not, then go back to anime and the movies. I've triggered so...
Dude, anime isn't even that bad. He keeps slapping anime, and I know that I fucking like anime, but the reason I like anime is because everything I liked about regular, like, US-based comics, when they'd get to the end of an arc, and then it would just fucking go in an opposite direction, or they'd reset the universe, or all this other shit. Anime just goes until the story's over. And that's way better. I like that it has an ending. I do appreciate that. And it's just like so wild that he has like all this vitriol. And I think if he read some anime, he would enjoy it because bro needs something else other than this one thing in his life. He needs to enjoy it.
So many people by just having an opinion about this comic. Let's stop dodging the truth. It sucks. No rage bait, satire, or trolling. It's not a good story. In fact, it's an objectively bad one. All the politics aside, this comic is a mediocre mess. Stop having mental breakdowns because I don't like well-established white characters being changed to black. If someone made Storm, Black Panther, Blade, or Spawn white, you'd riot.
I would be mad. Just like I will hold the position that I don't like it either way. Now, if they were to create like if there was another like if they decided to reboot a Spawn, right, and instead of it being Al, it's somebody else. It's like Jim now. It's Jim, and Al exists in this universe, but he is like his arc's gone. We're doing a new Spawn. It's a new story, different characters, just a whole new. It's still taking the same thing, kind of like what they did with Ghost Rider. I would give it a shot, bro, because it's not replacing Al. I hate when it feels like we're replacing these shits. But 503 videos, 2 years and 6. Oh, so if you want to talk about like my views and stuff for 2 years, my first year on YouTube, I really didn't do anything. So my first year on YouTube, I was just fucking around, testing it out. I've only been really like working hard on YouTube for the last year. I used to just shit things out. And now I'm actually like putting this giving this a good opportunity. My first year in YouTube, I don't even think I hit 100 subs. I wasn't even trying. I was just, a lot of those videos I have actually put private because I wasn't actually. So here's what you learned kind of fucking around on YouTube. You need to learn how to talk to a camera. You need to learn how to kind of present yourself. You have to learn how to get over that hump of being awkward in front of the camera. So what you have to do is kind of trial and error. And I basically said that I was going to make a video a day when I first started YouTube. And like I said, a lot of those are private. I was doing like news of the day type things. I didn't know what I was doing. The camera quality was shit. Everything was shit. It was just me practicing. And I didn't really see it as anything other than that. And I wasn't really trying. It was just more me getting better at what I was doing. This last year, I decided to take it seriously and actually try to get better. And in this last year, I have gained 559 subscribers in 1 year. And I think that's a monumental achievement. I think a year... If you look back, a year ago is when I started having like really good content. And if you look at my content now, most of it doesn't go back too far to the 2 year thing. I set up the channel, thought about doing stuff. I think I posted some shorts or whatever. And I then, like, most of those have been removed. Most of that older content's been removed because it really didn't have any substance. It really was substanceless. It was just me throwing things into the algorithm, just fucking around. A lot of it didn't have good thumbnails. A lot of it was just me talking, and it wasn't good talking. I had a lot of pauses, a lot of mic pops. I was learning each thing slowly, and it was just kind of fucking around. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually make content. I'm going to make content. I'm going to sit down and make content, do my thing. And in the... you're leaving, like, Chance? I'll check you on the next one, buddy. It's always good having you in chat. But there's like several hours of work, hours or work per sub. And I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work per sub. But at the same time, you're going to see a lot more success when you put in the work, put in the time. Make sure that you're putting a bunch of different stuff out there for the algorithm. I started adding in this stream commentary stuff because I know a lot of people enjoy my weird rhetoric on this shit. So I decided to just cut it up and spread it out over the week so I have more than one video a week. I make polished content every Friday that's like an actual game review. And then the rest of the week is stuff like this. I mean... the work process that goes into YouTube is all about figuring out what works and what doesn't, and you'll start to get the ball rolling. And you know, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's been beneficial for me so far. But let's get back to this fucking ginger clown.
Literally.
Mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly. But fires have been started.
If you have some reason as to why race swaps can't be done the other way around, feel free to give the message to your mother, because I'll be over at her house tonight. So read better comics or cry harder. If you agreed, let me know. And if you disagreed, go complain to your boyfriend.
Fuck Absolute Batman. Dude wouldn't cuss in the video, but he'll put this in the end. And he'll fucking bleep out every time he says retarded. Is this as bad as the Ben Shapiro Batman review? That's not rough. 500 subs in a year isn't that rough. It's like, here's the thing. You will eventually, like, it seems rough because it's a slow process, but you'll see a steady increase, right? So you'll start with like, okay, I'm getting like one sub every once in a while, or you'll have a video that pops off and you'll get like 50 subs from it or something, which it happened with me with the Warriors video. And then you'll just like steady build, and then you'll hit like a peak point, and then you have to get over that learning hump. And eventually you just start building and getting more steady viewership. I mean, you see anybody, there is not a single person on this platform that made it overnight. Not a single person. And that's anything in entertainment. There's not a single stand-up comedian. There's not a single, with entertainment, it's about honing a craft. And you can't just like come up here like I am right away and have the ability to just rattle things off and be able to just stand here and just be able to just say what you want to say and do it in a coherent way. And I still have trouble making it coherent. I mean, it's one of those things that I can look at, now I can look at stuff in like this video, for example, and hit it critically and hit points about it, when before I didn't feel comfortable doing reaction type stuff because I didn't feel like I had the ability to actually stay on topic. And I still have trouble with that. Sometimes I get talking about too much gay jokes, or I say too many Steven jokes and then I'm on a tangent. But like, take for example this video. I think that if he would have stayed to the point of his critiques of the Batman comic, and he would have gone about it as, oh, these are the issues I have, this is the writing, it's really dumb. But instead he was like, I'm going to go on a racist rant right out of the gate. I'm going to just be like, yeah, black people are scary, you should avoid them at all costs. And you're like, what the fuck? And you're just on this whole different level that it's like, it ruins. What about the Hawk Tuah girl? Different. That stuff is... That's having a meme video that you capitalize on, and whenever you see something like that, whenever you see somebody like the Hawk Tuah girl, she's going to have a giant boost at first, and then it's going to plummet because people are interested by the clown show. And that's kind of what it seems like happened to this guy too. So take for example these two videos. You look at his videos now, they're not doing terrible, they get decent enough views, right? But you go to his popular, you have these two videos that I just watched at 28 and 37,000, and then it drops to 3, 10, 9. It's just like he can't consistently, like he can't consistently stay at the same height as he was here, because these are the ones where he has the most wild takes. This is the shit that put him in the blasted him in the atmosphere, and he's been chasing that ever since. And it's been diminishing returns. And that happens with a lot of YouTubers where they get, or even like people will have this moment, they'll have this big fucking moment that'll blast them into stardust, or they'll have like a clip like the Hawk Tuah girl where it'll blast them into stardom, and then they'll try to capitalize on that over and over again. And that only works for so long. It's not a good strategy to try to just keep living off of that same joke, keep living off of that same meme or whatever, because eventually he gets tired and then people do not care and you get washed. Because I mean, if you look at like the Hawk Tuah girl right now, let's look at the Hawk Tuah podcast. Let's see how they're doing. I feel like videos. The last one was a month ago, so she hasn't posted in over a month. And she's had a whole drama about like another thing, but you look at it, it didn't last very long. Her first video got a million, like 2.7 million. Then it dropped to 8, and there was a couple that got somebody that was a little bit bigger on, and it boosted it because of their fan base. But most of the time it just kind of fucking petered out. This one got probably a lot of views because a lot of people were curious about the drama and seeing if she was going to address it. That's probably why she had a boost in views on that. But for the most part, it's diminishing returns, and that's something that it's smart to capitalize on some shit like that, but it's not a viable policy, or it's not a viable growth. Having a steadier growth is much better than just getting success overnight. Having steadier growth is much better because you build a fan base instead of just a fan base of curiosity. A fan base of curiosity will leave because the novelty is gone. You are the little zoo animal, and then once people are like, okay, the monkey throws shit at the zoo, I'm moving on to the snakes. So no, you're no longer interesting. You're fucking washed, and that's kind of the issue. And the same thing that happened here. I mean, and what sucks is I think that he had some interesting takes on different stuff, but instead of actually focusing on the tanks or his takes, what he did was try to be edgy and angry, and fucking he's honestly kind of racist. It's one of those things. Well, I mean, I don't even think it's the fault. I don't even think it's just the crypto scam. She was getting diminishing returns before the crypto scam. It was diminishing returns way before the crypto scam. I think that the crypto scam boosted the views on her last podcast episode. And I mean, I'd fire her team too. I think they screwed her over. I think she was somebody who got stardom, thought she wanted to capitalize on it, which is completely fair. They told her that she needed to just milk this shit dry, and she just basically became a cardboard cutout of the meme, and then did a coin because that's what everybody told her to do. It was a dumb decision to begin with. Just like that video. This video, though, not as bad as the Ben Shapiro one. If we want to see a real racist Batman, though, I found this while looking for a thumbnail for this video, and this is fucking hilarious. This is going to be a shorter one. This is called Batman is a Racist Prick. That is what this is called. We're going to get into it. This is great.
Hell, he spooks up to.
it's a Gran Torino. They put the Gran Torino voice on Batman. Dude. Oh, when we're talking about Destiny, we'll see if Destiny can survive this. I don't know. This is bigger than any other of the other Destiny dramas. I know this is kind of going off topic from the video that we're on. But when it comes to the Destiny drama, there's legal shit that's coming his way now. So this is bigger than just him having drama with somebody. Now, if this was just him having a spout over leaked nudes or whatever, and it wasn't actually breaking the law, I think it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. Or not even like, I think if it would have been like a bad accusation, right? If she would have like said that he used the fact that they needed to have sex together to boost her career, and he said that's not true, and there was a back and forth, and you'd have some people come out and say Destiny's a piece of shit for doing that, and then you have a different group coming out and supporting Destiny. You would have had a back and forth there, and Destiny would have survived that. I think Destiny will survive in a state of much smaller success, but I think his career as being kind of the titan that he was, I think he's going to have trouble from this. He's already lost a ton of friends. He's lost a lot. It's this is bigger. Like he actually like did bad stuff. Like it's what can you say? He fucked up. Big fuck up. It's gonna make his life hard. I mean, this is what I said. I didn't say this on my YouTube channel, but I think I said it on Twitter. After the Donald Trump celebrating wishing Donald Trump would have been hit by the bullet, and then like also like kind of celebrating the guy who got shot at the rally. I believe vehemently he had every right to say everything, all that stuff on Twitter. I don't think he should have been canceled for saying that stuff. The problem is now Destiny for years has been utilizing that tactic where whenever he sees a whataboutism, he will then attack people for using the whataboutism. Well, every time the Trump thing's brought up, he uses a whataboutism. He literally is falling into his own trap, and it washed him for debating pretty much ever. I mean, anytime you want to beat a debate in Destiny and he uses a whataboutism, it's like you can use another whataboutism to talk about the Trump shit, and he will use the whataboutism, and you can call him out on his hypocrisy right there. It is something that debate-wise he will be stuck on forever. It's going to be an issue no matter what he does. His own debate tactics are going to come to bite him in the ass because of that, and this is just something on top of that that's going to make it harder for him to do the things he does. Now, before, even with the Trump thing, his fan base was going to stay behind him. No matter what he says, they were going to say he was right. But a lot of his fan base is going to look at something like this and see he's cringe and then move away from him. And it's like and I get the max, even his legal trauma, the max penalty for that in Florida is $150K per lawsuit. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but if he loses, it's not the loss of the money that's going to affect him in this. It's the loss of reputation because of if he loses, it shows that he was in the wrongdoing. And it really washes his credibility on whenever he tries to do that whole like oh, I'm gonna virtue signal for women or whatever, because I've seen he's done that in the past. He hasn't done too much, but he's not as bad as somebody like Hassan or Bosch. But if he tries to like call some of these other like alphas or whatever that they're misogynists and stuff, or they don't care about women, it's like, you don't care about women because you just send every nudes you get to all of your buddies, and then without even caring, without their consent. It's like, I'm over here, I'm the bad guy because I believe that you should wait till marriage. I'm this is all hypothetical. I'm not that kind of guy that's like, oh, you should wait till marriage. But you know he's gonna get in the debate, and it's like, well, do you actually respect women more than just an object? And it's like, do you respect women more than an object, Destiny? Because it seems like you just use them for Discord clout. Like, it's cooked him in a debate capacity. It's cooked him for people wanting to collab with him. This is big in the area because Destiny has built a reputation of being, I'm gonna be the debate bro guy. I'm gonna cook you all the time. And now he has no leg to stand on in the aspect that brought him back from the last Fallout. Because after he kind of fell out and had the whole Hassan moving and doing bigger and better things, and he was the edgy leftist guy, he then got relevancy by bouncing podcast to podcast, kind of fucking trying to out debate bro these Andrew Tate type guys, and that really brought him back in this the stardom. You would see Andrew Tate saying shit with what's his face, the streamer, and then the next video would be Destiny arguing with a one guy. And oh yeah, if Vosh can come back from the whole kitty cartoon, yeah, well, I mean, Vosh's fans stayed with him after he basically said that, like, Vosh has said a bunch of sus shit when it comes to kids that his fan base is stuck around for. Vosh's fans are fucking insane. People like, so I've made comments where it's like, Destiny is far left, like Nick Fuentes. He's like the Nick Fuentes of the left, and I'm being hyperbolic there. I think Vosh and Hassan are like the Nick Fuentes and the Ethan Ralph of the left. They're fucking insane. They are insane people. And I think anybody that's like actual fans of those people need to realize that they are looking at an extremely biased person that is willing to use propaganda to get whatever they reaffirm whatever point that they're standing on. And that's exactly the same shit that Ethan Ralph and Nick Fuentes do, and it's the same shit that Hassan and Vosh do. And I see anybody who's like real fans of them, I just do not take them seriously because they don't realize how indoctrinated they are. It's like, dude, if somebody walked up and like, my favorite creator is Nick Fuentes, I'm like, okay, dude, you literally are a nut job. It's like, that's weird, dude. It looked for me, I look at these two very far fucking reaching points of the political diagram, and I'm like, so you're a nut job. Like, when Nick Fuentes makes out, like, Alex Jones is over here just being the Destiny is like the Alex Jones of the left, right? He's like, Alex Jones is far right, but not like extreme. Like, he's not what is it? There's like far left and the extreme left are the radical. So you have your radicals, right? You have your radicals like Hassan, Vosh, and Nick Fuentes, Ethan Ralph, and a lot of these other goofballs. I Baked Alaska. I'm trying to think because I used to listen to Mr. Medicare, and Mr. Medicare would fucking clown on all these guys. But then you have your like more like far right, far left guys, which can have some fun or can be fun to listen to. And you look like I used to think that I didn't agree with Destiny a lot. I like on a lot of his political points, but I found him entertaining, right? He was an entertaining person. Same with Alex Jones. I wasn't always agreeing with Alex Jones. I found some of his rhetoric a bit too far, but I found them both incredibly entertaining, and they were both kind of that meme. They were that meme that they were unabashedly far right, you know? Dude, Hassan is one of the people that anybody, he sees platforming people as an evil. And it's also because Hassan's not great at debating, so if he's put in the same room as somebody who disagrees with him, he has to stand his ground, and he likes to trip over his own words. Now, I'm not a debate bro, so I would get in that situation and I would fuck it up. I would ramble in the wrong direction. I would probably say some wrong things. I am opinionated, but I would probably talk myself into my own circles. But Hassan does that, and that's supposed to be his job, and so that's why he doesn't have anybody that ever disagrees with him on his stream. Which is why I've always respected people like Destiny and Alex Jones, because they're willing to have people that disagree with them argue with them. They're willing to talk to anybody. And that's how it should be. You should be willing to debate. You should be willing to debate your opinions at any point. It's like okay to hear somebody tell you that you're wrong, and it's okay to learn something. Sometimes you are wrong, and you're like, oh well, I made the wrong step here, and I went too far, or this joke I tried to land wasn't a good joke, and I need to like do better. I've seen it happen a time and time again, and it's one of those things that I think because like that's why I've always been against censorship, because there's always going to be somebody there that's going to that's going to say the more logical thing, and in the end the person who's more irrational about the sentiment will not, like, as long as they're met with like valid criticism and treated respectfully, you can have a discourse with just about anybody. It's when you get really mean, it's like, you're a fucking idiot, and then they get on the defensive and it gets way worse. But if you can like break down like, this is what you said, this is what's wrong about it, and we should address it from here, you know, it's stuff like that. But yeah, he's definitely a clout monster, and that's the thing. Like, I just feel so bad for anybody on a Hassan stream that it's like they go on there and it just feels like they're being held hostage because they know that if they fuck up, they're gonna be in trouble with the Twitch community. It's just such a weird cabal.
Get off my lawn. Pussy.
Get off my lawn.
Crazy Italian prick.
Dude, these Clint Eastwood cuts are fire.
All you slopes are supposed to be good at math, right?
Oh god, dude, I love that they cut it with Clint Eastwood quotes, bro.
Gentle now, the tender breeze. You people are nuts. Jabbering goop.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude, that's a racist Batman, bro. That's the fucking racist Batman, dude. I mean, that's great, dude. That was great. I was more just wanted to see a little bit of it because I thought it was funny, but that was fucking good, dude. That was good. I did get this Valve's in Trouble thing recently. I saw this up on my suggested, and I figured we'd watch this real quick while I was in the mode for doing some debating on I see I have this position to where I kind of, it almost seems like I'm fence riding, but I'm not at the same time. Like, I do find race swapping shit annoying, but I don't find it annoying when they create a new character. Some people are just like, oh, they see the character that it's like, oh, it's Spider-Man, he's black, and they're like, yeah, but it's a new character, it's Miles Morales, he's not Peter Parker, and then they're still mad. And to me, that's just fucking a pointless war. For years, I said, when this race swapping stuff started, I said, they need to make new characters. Just make a new character. And the people that complain about making new characters and stuff are dumb. And this is another thing where I'm just kind of sick of it's like I saw this and it was like Valve has a diversity crisis, and I hate stuff like this. We're just forcing shit on companies because you need to hit a couple boxes. It's like, oh, because you're this, you get a job. I remember I applied at a couple jobs, and I tested this out. I applied at some jobs, didn't get any calls back, and this is when I was living in Portland. And then I reapplied for those exact same jobs, the exact same position, but I put that I was Native American, and I got a call back. And now I don't know if they were calling me back on the first application or the second one, for the thing I got. But I remember thinking that if it was off the second one, were they calling me because of my skills that pertain to the job, or were they calling me because I am just enough Native to check a box? And that really bothered me. That always really bothered me. And I would rather, because I had like I remember it was a grocery store job, and I had like recommendations from high up at different grocery stores for doing a good job. And I just remember thinking, like, are my recommendations getting me in here, or is it my race? And it was just something that I thought I would test because I heard that there was companies looking for diversity quotas, and I was like, this is bullshit. And then I applied, and within a day I got hit back, and I was like, that's sus. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I hope it was off of my my qualifications and not off of the weird bit of race that I have in me. But this is what they're talking about: Valve's issues with diversity.
Valve has a diversity crisis. Uh-oh.
I can't tell you how many women work at Valve, or people of color, or non-binary folks, or those who identify as LGBTQ, or disabled people, because, well, Valve is a private company, and it doesn't need to disclose those numbers, and also it didn't respond to our own requests for those figures. However,
it shouldn't have to. It shouldn't have to. It's a private company, and the fact that you're just like, it's fucking weird, dude. If I walk up to somebody's place of work and I'm like, excuse me, how many women do you have hired compared to men? And how many people of color do you have hired compared to white people? We need to make sure that you hit right quotas. That's fucking weird, dude. It's like, no, we hired people that were best fit for the positions. And they're like, well, is that the right race? Which is racist to me. That's fucking racist. And I get that. I get that you might disagree with me on that, but I don't like racism of any kind. I think you should be judged on the merit of your character and your qualifications. First and foremost, that's why you should get a job. So I think this type of shit is weird. Now, I don't know if he's going to go in that direction. I just wanted to make my opinion be known. I'm shooting my shot in the atmosphere and catching it in my own mouth.
Why would they? I mean, if somebody's asking for those figures, they're only doing it in order to create a narrative that you're doing something wrong. Like, how could there ever be a single positive to sharing that information?
Multiple interviewees that we spoke to described the company as having an enormous lack of diversity, extremely white and extremely male. There have been efforts made over the years by various employees who've pushed to make Valve more representative. However, I'm told these efforts are largely blocked by either the company's structure or its leadership.
If that effort was being blocked and there's an effort to hire a person that was black and it was being blocked by the nature of the fact that the person was black, Valve would be in a massive discrimination lawsuit and they would have to pay out millions, if not billions.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm gonna piggyback off of the shit he's saying. I'm up Asmongold's ass right now. I would start claiming a non-binary Native American. I guess I missed that, but yeah, dude, see, that was about that. I had seen something on Twitter about it, or not Twitter. What did I have? I had it was like Facebook. I saw somebody post a Facebook thing about it. It was like if I in like Way Political Ant or some shit, and I saw them post something about it, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, it's not that way. You're overreacting. And then I got the call the next day. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's fucked. And but at the same time, I can't verify. I can't be 100%. So that's just something that I remember kind of hitting me odd. But here's something too, like, I don't think you should, like, if somebody's like, oh, we should hire them, and then they're like, why? And they're like, well, he's good at this. And they're like, well, we don't need that position filled. And they're, oh, you just don't want to hire him because he's fucking Asian or black or native or something. And you see that, and I think that's a disingenuous way to put it. Now, and that's where, like, because if a company, like, if you go into an interview, and the guy's like, what are you? What are you? Well, what is this tan? Are you just like tanning, or is you got like some grossness in you? You got some of that fucking nasty. That's fucking discrimination, and that person has every right to sue that company, and they should sue that fucking company into the ground. They should take their fucking whatever genitals they got and just slap them down on that fucking company as hard as they possibly can over and over again and get every single cent they can, because that is discrimination. But if you're not hired because there's no positions to fill, or there's somebody else that's more qualified than you, like let's say it's a guy right out of college. He's good at what he does, but he has no references yet, and there's a position for a high-end coder at Valve, like somebody who's going to be a creative lead. Well, all of a sudden, the dude who worked on let's say fucking Baldur's Gate, one of the heads over at Baldur's Gate 2, he needs a job, right? He's looking for a new place to work. He had his fun with Baldur's Gate, but he wants to work with somebody else, and he applies for the same job. You should give it to the guy who worked on Baldur's Gate, irregardless of what the races are between those guys, because one has better qualifications than the other. And race should never be a factor in a hiring process. It just shouldn't. It shouldn't. You should be hired on what you've done previously. And I get that there can be an unbiased or an like a subconscious bias where some places are just, some guys are like has like racism in his fucking butthole, and it sneaks out, crawls up his leg, and whispers in his ear, "Don't hire him because he's one of the bad ones." And you're like, and yeah, that sucks. I hate those people. Like, you should, like, if I was looking at a list of people, you should look at them as a qualification, do an interview process, and you should pick one that's best for the job. And it shouldn't matter what they look like. And I'm a firm believer in that. I'm like vehemently, and I get that there is going to be instances where it's somebody who fucking sucks. It's just like, and if you have any inkling that and this is something I want to tell my audience, if you're in a situation and you're getting wrongdoing because of your race, or you go into an interview and there's something off and that dude says something that's suspect, you should always go into like interviews and stuff, and you should ask if you can record it for not for safety. Don't say for safety, because that's fucking gonna put a bad stain on it. But say, hey, I record my interviews so that I can improve myself for each or improve myself with each iteration of what I do. I always want to listen back to see what I could have done better, what questions I could have asked, and you should record them. And I mean, even if you're not recording them just to watch out for like racism or whatever, it's also good to have those things to be like, oh dude, I was so cringe in that interview, next time I need to get my ducks in a row. It's good to have those things available, and I think that's a fair thing to ask. And if an employer looks at you and says, I don't want this recorded, and it's like, okay, that's fine, and then you do the interview and it's sussy-wussy, I mean, would you want to work at that place anyways? Go find a place that's a better fit for you, you know? It's like, you're going to have a bad, like, if you go into an interview and the guy won't even let you, like, record it for your own benefit, is it that good of a place to work for? And, like, I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I think it would help.
Millions of dollars. Yeah.
But equity, yeah, Dean, I hate that shit. Let's bring other people down. Let's bring other people down so that we can build another group of people up, and then just create racism. We are then creating racism due to law and rhetoric. And you want to hear something so insane it's hard to believe it's true? As long as it's not so insane that I get demonetized off of YouTube, sure.
It's just that simple.
It used to be that there were maybe 10 or 15% women in the development teams, but definitely now I think they've dipped below that point.
Well, you've created an arbitrary criteria point, and then you've said you have to meet this criteria point. Who decided that? You did. You don't work at Valve. You're not in charge of them. What is this? Valve's estimated profit per employee is around $19 million, making it one of the highest per employee profit figures among major tech companies. What they're doing works, and it outperforms all other people that are in the space hired on merit. Yeah, you always hire on merit. If you're not hiring on merit, you're setting yourself up to fail.
The higher up you go, the whiter and male it becomes.
The implication here is that being white is somehow a problem. If you replace the word of the...
Well, it's not just that being white is a problem. I mean, also, if people who work at Valve make that much money, they're probably happy with their positions and not willing to give up their spot. So when Valve started, let's say before, when Steam first launched, Valve's already established. It already had a set group of, pecking order. It already had the set pecking order, and those people aren't going to leave until they retire. And then there's a good chance that somebody who's been kicking their butt in the lower tier is going to move over to the next tier because of their qualifications, because no company of actual merit and intelligence is going to pick another guy based on race. They're going to pick on who's going to perform best in this situation. And unless you want your business to fail. If you want your business to fail, you will pick based on fucking weird it's like, oh well, he's got a nicer nose. California, there are 3 top fire chiefs. The top 3 ranking firefighters, all 3 are lesbians. Women make up 4.3% of the firefighters in California. Let's say half are lesbians. What are the odds that 3 of them became fire chief? I mean, that's insane. That's a problem. I mean, you when you do this identity stuff, and I saw a clip from the firefighters where it was like, why? Well, I've seen them criticize our fire chiefs because they're women, and how can they carry a man or carry my husband out of the house when he weighs 250? Well, you need to ask your husband how he got in that situation to begin with. Motherfucker, my house caught on fire and I need somebody to get me out of the room because I'm blocked into a room. That's your fucking job, dude. Your job is one thing: save me from a fire. It's like, what? What? I hate this shield that people put up because of race and like sexual orientation. I hate it. I hate it. It's a shield. It's a shield for your incompetence to be able to do the actual job. Now, let's say you're like fucking like if she would have like walked out, she's like, bitch, I could carry. She's like, I squat 400 pounds. You don't think I could carry your 250-pound husband? That's a based ass answer. If she's just a fucking super badass bitch, dude, and she got the job because she can fucking cut it and tuck it, dude, I have no, like, she's the best person for the job. I believe you. I'm not even, like, I don't even need to Google it. I've seen the fire chief. I've seen some of the drama with the fire chief and, like, their promotional tapes that are just fucking weird from California. But it's like, forcing a company to do this shit just for your own benefit or for the benefit of brownie points and political points is just fucking dumb, dude. It's just fucking dumb. It leads to one, we were looking at it in the video game industry where it's leading to games being shit because one, you look at games from like 5-10 years ago, they were doing more in terms of gameplay. Like Crysis 1 is still holds up way better than games coming out today. Like, you can do more in Crysis 1 than you can do in half of these Ubisoft games that are coming out. And it was because they were trying to innovate and they were trying to do cool shit, and now they're just trying to hit enough boxes and try to win brownie points on the internet. It's like, dude, you were fucking trying to make a product to sell to people, and then when people criticize them, they throw a little tantrum on the internet and call everybody racist. It's dumb. It's dumb. I hate it.
People that you are trying to replace with the word of people that you think are protected, would your statement be bad? And if the answer is yes, then your statement is not theoretically bad, it is just simply bad.
That compounds the issue, because part of making any field more diverse is that you have to start introducing diversity into it. Valve's not going to be...
Well, I don't think that I feel like the entire premise of this is that it's a problem or that it's necessary. I don't think diversity is something that is a good or a bad thing. Having more diversity doesn't make something better, and it doesn't make it worse either. It's just simply a collection of people.
And there are already more middle-aged white guys in the games industry than any other group of people, so...
Well, the premise of this is that it's a problem that there are middle-aged white guys in the gaming industry. I think that if you said there's a lot of young black women here, like... I would say that's racist.
First of all,
not even getting on, like, here's the thing. Oh, because there's a lot. So what do you want them to just give up their jobs? So this is my problem with this type of stuff. Oh, well, there's a lot of middle-aged white guys in this industry already. What do you want to do with them? What, should you just fucking kick them out? Well, they've been here, they're privileged. You need to fire them and replace them with somebody of color. That's racist. That's racist. That's not just racist. That's just inhumane. To fire somebody based on their skin color, for one, and for two, to replace them with somebody because you want to hit the right quotas. That's fucked up. It's like some dude's grinding his ass off, been in the industry since the 90s or something, or the 80s. The dude's been like since the 80s and 90s, just fucking making been on so many big projects, done so much for the gaming industry, and then one day he gets kicked out because he doesn't hit the right skin color on a fucking Home Depot chart. That's fucking gay, dude. That's cringe. That's fucking retarded. That's like, dude, that's like fucking coming on your own chest and wondering why it's getting sticky. It's dumb, dude.
You need to have actually seen them do that work in the first place, and secondly, if you have seen it, you need to understand
exactly. Middle-aged white guys like gaming and work, and I mean other people, like it's not just like, it's not just racing. I mean, we're seeing more people get interested in this atmosphere because it's getting bigger every single day. It's growing and growing, and we're going to see diversity due to the fact that it's becoming such a mainstream thing. Gaming is no longer the niche kid thing or the fucking weird nerd thing. It is mainstream as fuck now. So you're going to see more people getting into it. And there's going to be people that are going to come out there, they're going to kick ass. They're not going to listen to any of this side bullshit. They're just going to put their nose to the grindstone and create good shit. They are going to build good games. That's all they care about. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, and they will their career will prosper because they're out there doing good shit. They're out there working their ass off. That is all about the grind set, and everybody who has that grind set should be in the same mindset. It's like, oh, I'm doing this thing. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep working my ass off. I'm going to keep cooking, and eventually I will be realized, and people will want me, and they will hunt me down and beg for me to work at these places. Instead of me begging to work for them and then utilizing things like racism and using excuses. They're just excuses. It's like, oh, I didn't get it because I have too fucking weird of an eyebrow. I didn't get it because my fucking left toe is too small and they knew somehow and they didn't hire me because of it. That's an excuse. They didn't hire you because you didn't have the qualifications. Go fucking do it. Just go do it. There's nothing stopping you in this world. You can go do anything you want to. I am a fucking example of that. I'm a fat idiot yelling into a microphone, and for some reason people subscribe to me. They fucking comment on my shit. They like my shit, and I just keep doing it. I keep grinding, and I'm slowly making my way up to 1,000 subs. And one day I will be way past that, and I will keep fucking grinding. And I want everybody who watches me to know that no matter what you look like, no matter how you are, as long as you work your ass off, you can do anything you want. You can achieve your dreams. It's just about doing it, and do not expect the world to bow down to you, and don't blame other people and other things for your misfortune. Just say, that sucks, I'm gonna keep doing this. That sucks, I'm gonna move on. You get knocked down, you get right back up. That was not the good Rocky. Adrian, you get knocked down, you get right back up again. You just keep going, dude. Just keep fucking going. Don't let your dreams leave you behind. Chase those motherfuckers down and beat the fuck out of them. Subdue them and then teabag the shit out of them with your massive fucking balls, dick, and clit.
That work enough to recognize it as something worthwhile.
Do you really think that the people that work at a company that you have admitted only hire the best of the best and creates the highest profit per employee at $19 million? Do you really think that those people can't recognize good work and you can? How delusional and stupid could you possibly be? It's hilarious that they even think that they can evaluate this better than they can.
And it's going to be so much harder to hire someone who is a woman or isn't white or any of the things that isn't your average Valve employee profile.
Yeah, I think this right here, like videos like this, are the most corrosive and the most effective at radicalizing people against DEI or like liberal policies than Nick Fuentes, Sam Hyde, or Tony Robinson put together.
There's nothing in an overt, sinister sense that's discriminatory.
Well, and this is the thing too, and this is what I've said a million times over and over again about like the problem where we are now with the pendulum swinging further to the right, or the cultural pendulum swinging further to the right, is because the left has gone so fucking far left that it doesn't make sense anymore. It's no longer about the merit of your character and the like people should be we should be a colorblind society. And it was like, yeah, I agree with that. It's like, oh yeah, dude, we should like care about gay marriage. Cool, dude. They should. I don't want to. I don't like discrimination. Everybody should be treated equally. And then one day it went from being treated equally to we should treat these groups better than these groups. But these groups have a slight indication because they have this other addendum, and then there's another addendum. And we're creating a hierarchy it's a hierarchy of race, a hierarchy of sexual orientation, and then it's like, oh, well, you're just black. Well, I'm black and gay, and I have to deal with this. Well, I'm black, gay, and autistic, so I have to deal with this. And we've just created these weird fucking hierarchies of let's see who has the most shit wrong, or not wrong with them. I don't want to say because race is, there's nothing wrong with you if you're a different race. I mean, that's fucking horrible. But it's like, oh, well, I have ADHD. Everybody fucking has ADHD. I have anxiety. Everybody has anxiety. I get that there's stages in, there's a realm of how, like, bad anxiety, you get bad anxiety, and then you get bad ADHD. But I once heard for YouTube success, you need 2 out of 3 of the following: interesting, informative content, quality editing, and being hot. No, that's not true. Like, look at Asmongold. Look at Asmongold right here. He is literally juxtaposed to all of that. All of that is working against him. Every single one of those things. He is interesting and informative. I will go with that. But editing quality, it's mostly okay. I mean, my stream cut-ups are kind of similar to his. And being hot, no. There's so many ugly creators that succeed all the time. I mean, Boogie2988 has like 4 million subs. So the being hot thing is just wrong. And then like the quality editing, you don't really need the quality editing. It's the most important thing is being interesting, just being interesting and entertaining. Being interesting and entertaining. That is the most important thing out of everything. And all the other stuff you will learn along the way. Like if you're worrying about editing, you'll learn that along the way, but you will build because of your entertainment value.
Story about the Valve hiring process.
All right. The problem here is that there's a comma and not a period. Why is there 2 more minutes? Is it the credits?
Except in the way that all hiring processes select for people that are like the people doing the hiring.
So if the problem is that there's a bunch of people in this demographic that are hiring based off of their race, then the solution is to influence and bring in a different demographic of people that will hire based off of their race instead. We have to fight racism with racism.
Multiple current and former employees, they believe this issue is not being addressed because Valve's leadership simply does not understand it.
The people that run this multi-billion-dollar company that effectively has a monopoly almost on PC gaming, they just don't understand.
He hacked on the first by being first and putting in a decade. I mean, yeah, no, that's fair. But I mean, you want a counter position to that? Look at God, what's his name? Nacho? No, what's his name? Queso. Queso is like, Queso doesn't have a lot going for him in terms of like, he's sometimes funny. He can be kind of charming, but he's just a fat guy that sits in the dark and looks like a Lego. That's what he's got going for him. And you look at people who make it take Dreamcast guy. What the fuck does Dreamcast guy do? That he's not attractive. Dreamcast guy doesn't have quality content. He's not really that interesting. He really just kind of coasts by because he talks PlayStation. He's a PlayStation fanboy, and he's kind of got some zealotry that works for him. And he's been around for a long time. Like I said, dude, as long as I think the most important thing is if you're interesting. 100%. I would line 30 dicks up and slap all of them and play the pianos like I'm fucking Tom Hanks and Big, saying that I'm right on that point. And because there's enough people, I don't think the look. I mean, looks definitely help. I mean, you could definitely hit a boost from looks, but looks won't sustain a channel. You'll get a boost because somebody's like, oh, look at that, she'll be on the thing with her tits out, she'll just be squirching them together, shooting milk out on a thumbnail. And they'll be like, yeah, let's click on that, and they'll click on it, and it's like, wow, dude, she's boring. She's boring. Even if her editing's fucking crisp, she can have her editing and be hot, but she has no quality to her entertainment value. People will not watch her. She will get diminishing returns. Being entertaining and / informative is the most important thing, because think about how many faceless channels that sometimes don't even have good editing. The commentary community is a great example of that. The commentary community like lives and dies by just having game footage clip and talking over it, and they make it work, and you never see their face. They have anonymity. Half the time the editing is lazy as fuck. Like what I'm doing here is basically the same thing, only I'm not putting video game footage over it.
And this, yeah.
It's not that they're knowingly or explicitly sexist or racist or homophobic or anything.
It's just bias. Okay, so then they are. Okay, so can you prove it? No, but they are.
So this is the bias thing is just a way of not calling the company racist, not calling them homophobic. Yeah, the Twitch is a different fucking thing, dude. I'm not. Twitch is different. Twitch, I've had people that I've known that did decent on Twitch. Twitch, you have to be in the it crowd with the other Twitch people. You have to be able to like click with them. Not only that or be hot. Twitch is like a whole different monster. Twitch is so fucking yeah, dude, Twitch is its own fucking thing. I mean, I could tell you like unattractive like YouTube girls, but like there's girls on YouTube who aren't the most hot fucking girl in the world, and they still make it happen. But when it comes to Twitch, it's a whole different monster. It's Twitch is one of the most fucking toxic places on the world, and you have to have a certain political affiliation, and not just a certain political affiliation. You have to be pretty fucking far out there. On top of that, you also have to, so many weird criteria. You have to be in with so many communities. There's so many hot, it's just so shitty. Oh, Frogan's an example of somebody who's not hot, I guess, but she hits all those criterias. I don't know who it's Akachi would be. It's Akachi? I don't know who she is. I'll look her up after this. But the thing I was getting at with the bias is I love that they will say something. They will say all this stuff that we're not calling them all this stuff. We're not doing all this thing. But we're not saying they're implicitly this. But they have a bias which makes them implicit. It's like, yeah, you said all that shit to cover your ass, and then said it's a bias to basically reaffirm all that other shit. You put it in there to lead up to the bias to call them all racist and homophobic.
Should we make it easier for people of color to join the company? They'll just be like, why? I feel like that's the dividing line.
Well, that's a good question. Why should it be easier for a person of any race to join the company versus a person of another race to join the company? In what form of discrimination is that good?
Some of this frustration spilled out into a wider discussion within the company after the murder of George Floyd in early 2020, as a group of employees within Valve pushed for the company to make a public statement in support of the Black Lives Matter movement.
That's right, of course.
And this is something that bothered me. There was a lot of political pressure, and I hate stuff like this. It's like, oh, we have to make a statement. You have to make a statement on this, and it's like, well, half of our fan base don't agree with the statement being made. Well, we should make it just because it's the right thing to do. But you think it's right, they don't. So we're going to alienate half of our install base, half of our consumers, in order to appease the other half. In business sense, that makes no fucking sense. That's absolutely illogical. It's like, oh, I want to just burn my money and shove it up my ass, dude, so that smoke boils out of my ears. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What type of AIDS are you shooting out of your butthole? What are we doing here, buddy? What are we fucking, what's the plan here? It's dumb. And I get that if you were somebody and you saw the George Floyd thing and you're like, this is bad. And you're like, yeah, it's bad. We should make a statement how we stand 100% with the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like, I don't know if we should 100% support anything. We don't really know what all their literature's about, what's all's going on. So we're just going to make a statement and side 100% and put risk to our multi-billion-dollar company, to everyone's paycheck, not just yours. You might think this way, but there's other people here that don't feel the same way, and you're willing to jeopardize their money in order to appease your feelings? That's selfish. That's selfish, and that's fucked up, and that's also bad business. Like, you can say that I'm a monster for saying that, and you shouldn't think that way, but, like, what? You want to tear everything down just to get brownie points because of a movement? Yeah, dude, exactly. I want to hear political opinions from a bunch of people that have nothing to do with politics. Absolutely, absolutely. This is like the big issue here, and this is where I get into this, because this is where because the video game stuff is me. I love video game stuff. I like the weird internet drama. I'm not over here like I'm gonna make a political video every week or whatever. It's just like, but when there's shit like this that's just implicitly dumb, I call it out, because it's like, why does it matter? Why do I care? What I'm sitting here looking at, it's like, oh, dude, that's so messed up. I hope Valve says something. What the fuck are you talking about? No, dude. I hope the police, the state police issues an apology and does stuff. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Because what more important thing needs to happen for a company to outwardly state that they support Black Lives Matter? The company is not your platform to push a social agenda. The only reason why companies push social agendas is because they think that the social agenda will cause them to make more money.
And there were also...
Exactly. They think it'll make them more money. So that's why they played this little weird fucking thing. Had nothing to do with race. There was a lot of things there was a lot of weird shit that happened with the BLM movement. I don't want to get into it because I don't have all the information. I think that there was a lot of people that sincerely didn't like what was going on with the whole situation and got caught up in it. And I think there's also a lot of skeevy shit going on in the background, which happens with every single one of these fucking things. And if we're talking about, like, George Floyd knew that cop knew each other. They worked together as bouncers at a bar and didn't like each other. It was personal. And I don't know 100% on that. I do know that the moment, this is where I know that I wasn't okay with what Chauvin did. He had George Floyd in the back of the car, and George Floyd was like, I want to get out of the back of the car. Can you lay me on the ground? He should have said, no, you're in the back of the car. You're handcuffed. We're taking you to jail. And if he would have had anything in the back of the car, they could have taken him to the hospital. Like, the fact that they let him out of the car to lay on the ground to then do the knee thing that was enough for him to be terminated and get manslaughter at least. Now, murder, I don't know. I think that it could be classified as murder or whatever. But at the very least, he always deserved manslaughter just for just for not doing his job correctly and he did everything wrong in that situation. And anybody who said that he didn't, I vehemently disagree with you. I think Chauvin did so much wrong in that situation that he always deserved manslaughter. Always. And I thought that it wasn't out of the realm that a jury would find him guilty for murder. Plain and simple. It's like the same thing with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Kyle Rittenhouse, from the beginning to the end, defended himself. Like, he was getting attacked from the beginning to the end, and the people he had shot were attacking him. He was acting in self-defense. I do not see a realm where a jury was like, he wasn't acting in self-defense. There was never going to be a moment where they were going to lose that case. And it's the same thing with the Chauvin thing, is I think that we had drastic people saying that he maliciously did it when it was just a bunch of bad choices, and I don't know if he was malicious about it. I do know that he made a bunch of bad mistakes, and then you have the other side saying that he did nothing wrong. And it was somewhere in the middle. It was somewhere in the middle where he had done a lot wrong. It was a bad situation, bad calls, and he deserved to get some jail time for it. They blew it up into a thing that was bigger than I think it should have ever gotten. But Chauvin always deserved to get jail time for it. And that was like when I saw the Kyle Rittenhouse, and they were saying that there was a lot of misinformation going on about Kyle. Like, he shot people, like that he shot some black people. That never happened. He was there for, like, just to do evil. That's not true. It's like the misinformation was coming from both sides, and it's always sitting somewhere in the middle. So what you should always do is, if you take one perspective with a grain of salt, look at the other perspective and figure out what's actually going on. Which it sucks that we have to do that we have to do the legwork. But at the same time, I'm not going to be over here saying, well, we need to combat misinformation by censoring speech, because who's going to be in charge? It's whatever administration at the time is in charge of censoring that speech, and you're going to get a bunch of skewed perspectives, and that's propaganda. So I think that it sucks that we have to deal with misinformation and bullshit, but at the same time, we have the ability to Google it and do our own research. It's just about doing your own legwork. Yeah. And he was dumb for being there. I will 100% agree that he should not have been in that situation. He shouldn't have gone over to his dad's house, like, because the idea that the cross state line things, I was stupid, because his dad lived in that town, his mom lived in the town next to it, and they lived on the state line. So, like, that cross the state line things was stupid because his dad literally lived in that town, and he would live with both of them. But the whole him being there thinking that he needed to protect the businesses and stuff was stupid. But him being wrong in the eyes of the law, he did everything. Dude, his control in that situation in the footage was impressive. It was impressive that somebody had the wherewithal to not be more dangerous in that situation. I thought he had good trigger control. I thought he handled himself very well for somebody being attacked. And I think he only shot when he felt like it was absolutely necessary. And that's more than you can say about most people. That's more than you can say for a lot of cops. So I thought he handled himself very well. It just kind of sucked that he got pulled into a media storm. And like, again, I think all my points stand, and I'm fucking based, and I have like the best micro penis in the world.
People who felt incredibly passionate, regardless of their own individual political convictions, that Valve should not and must not do so.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not a political action company. It's not what its goal is.
7 miles isn't a long way. Like, 7 miles is nothing. 7 miles is absolutely nothing. If we're going to talk about it, that's literally, when you live in rural America, dude, I drive like 10 miles to work, 15 miles to work. Like, that's nothing. That's minuscule. That's fucking chump change for distance, especially in where he was at. That's not far at all. And his dad already lived in the area, and so he already worked in that area. He partially lived in that area. He had friends in that area. It's next. Their towns next to each other. Like, I grew up with a town that was like less than 20 miles away, and we'd hang out with the kids from that school. It was just like we would always go over to the other town, hang out and party, and then we'd go to the other town and do the same thing. It's just how that works. It's not that crazy. I always thought that was a dumb thing. It's somebody who doesn't understand. It's somebody who doesn't understand how, or who's never lived on like a state line next to another town. Like it's not that crazy. It's not a crazy thing. I mean, should he have done it? No. Should he have been there? No. And I 100% agree, but I always thought it was a dumb argument. I just think it was just like a weird nitpicky thing that they were trying to tack on because they thought that it added more more levity to their argument when I thought it did the opposite. And every time I'd hear that argument, I'm like, yeah, dude, I mean, if there was something going on in the town next to us, and you would go check it out. And they're like, well, that's different. I'm like, no, it's not different. It's the same thing. It's well, our town that's next to us isn't across state lines. I was like, okay, just imagine there was a state line there. It's not like you have to go through to go to another state. You don't have to go through like customs or anything. You literally just drive on a road and you're in another town. Like, again, should he have been there? No. Should he have should he have ever been in that situation? No. It was, the whole thing was, he shouldn't have been there. That is plain and simple. Fucking putting the line down. It was dumb. He was there. But the state line thing, I was stupid. As for this, dude, the whole idea that you should jeopardize other people's so there's people who disagree with you at your workplace, and you're like, we have to do this because I said so, and then you're like, well, this could hurt our bottom line, and a lot of people don't agree with you, so are their opinions invalidated? Well, they don't matter because they have the wrong opinion. See, this is where you get into toxicity, and you're willing to destroy their money to further your feelings, and that's not okay. You're literally jeopardizing everybody involved.
Thing is that I'm really glad to see videos like this be completely pretty much rebuked. People can realize that this is just basically discrimination, but in a different direction, so that means it's okay. Oh no, Valve hires competent people. Yeah, how's that going for them? So basically, whatever they're doing is working really well. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. That's basically, I mean, it's gonna work really well. It's just like one of those things that it's like, oh, because you think that we should force our opinion. Like, I don't care what Valve thinks politically. I like when companies don't say what they fucking think, to be honest. I like that they stay in their lane. They're like, okay, we have audience input that they want, that this will help us sell more. We're gonna put this out there. So there's been some buzz lately about the old Judge Dredd game. Well, guess what? We just put it on sale. Come check out our Judge Dredd game. Without sure, there's gonna be people that play the Judge Dredd game and say this is fascism or whatever, and this is bad. But it's like most people are just gonna go play the game. It's just like the whole thing is dumb. Like, why would you destroy your own business? Why would you literally come in a glass and then drink it? That's just what's happening here. You're coming in a glass and then drinking it and then complaining. Like, if Valve would have taken a hit from that, then those people would have been mad, saying their pay got cut because of racism or some shit. And what really happened is their pay got hit because of the actions of the company getting political when they had no need to get political. All it does is all it'll do is it'll fracture your team that works at your company. I mean, we've already seen stuff like that happening with Obsidian, where some of the team agrees with it, some of it doesn't, but they don't want to say anything because they're afraid, and this happens in the industry all the time. So you're literally willing to fracture your team and fracture your buying base. And once you do that, you're coming in a glass and drinking it. You just want to see how your own seed tastes, so you can feel better about yourself. That's it. And you're willing to watch everything else burn for nothing, for absolutely nothing. A few days of brownie points on the internet, and that's dumb. That's fucking absolutely retarded. Absolutely, super retarded. Do I have another short video I can watch? Here's one. We'll do one last short one, okay? We'll do one last short one. We were talking about
file free in the app by 2 8.
We were talking about success on the platform. I talked previously about how, like, how does one get success, right? And how it can happen overnight, and how constant steady work can go into it. And there's a lot of different factors, and I think it always comes down to being entertaining. I think that's the number one goal. It's about having the right timing. It's about having the right energy, about having the right... There's a lot of things that go in. I don't think it has anything to do with looks. I mean, looks do help. Of course, they can help. But I think that if you're not entertaining, those looks will have diminishing returns. It's like, oh, well, you're a hot chick that just fucking watches videos. It'll work for some people, but most of the time it's not going to work. Like, Sniper Wolf, way before she ever started doing the bullshit watch everything and be bored, she was like doing her other fucking titty streams, and then she was collabing with everybody. She did a lot of work to be that fucking lazy. There was a lot of build up to that laziness. Now, again, like if she would have started by watching shit, she would have gotten a boost, probably gotten to like 10, 20K, 100K subs, and then she would have just died off and her channel would be sitting at each video have like 1,000 or 2,000 views. It's about how do you get that fan base and how do you keep it, and how do you keep it growing. And the way to keep it growing is by being consistently entertaining. Now, this might say completely different things, but this is a video about how a nobody went from 2 to 6,300,000 fans. All about Queso, the streamer.
There are 3 things that happened between September 2022 and today, each more important than the last, that made it all but impossible for Queso to not see stardom. Queso went from creating a fresh Twitch account with 0 followers to streaming to 65,000 live viewers with the most wholesome, creative, and supportive community Twitch has ever seen in just 2 years. How can a nobody become a somebody so fast?
Because the reason I even tried it again was because that weekend she said, why don't you give streaming another try? Just upload some clips, you're funny, see what happens.
Well, and here's the thing, I know I'm not over successful yet. I'm still growing. And there was a moment where I was doing all this stuff and it was like my first, like I didn't really consider that my first year. Like that was my first year on YouTube, but I don't think anything I did there was actually conducive of what I wanted to do. I just was kind of doing stuff, and I had this realization one day that I was going to do an actual video. I was going to actually try to do something. I was going to put effort into it. I was going to make a fucking good YouTube video. And I had made a video called Why You Shouldn't Play the Warriors on PS5. And it was like that was a changing point for me. It was like, okay, this is I was still doing the slop after that. I was still just like trying to hit a daily uploads or whatever, but there was something about that video that I worked, it wasn't the hardest working video. I was very mad, and I felt like I broke some issues down that I really cared about. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that was good. And after the success of that, I thought I liked doing like a review. I liked doing a review, and I thought, and I really enjoyed watching other people's retrospectives and people like G-Man, Civi11, and all these other people that I'd watched for years. And I was like, I'm gonna start doing shit like that. And I started actually like putting more effort into my content. And I had made the decision. I remember the video that I actually made the decision that I was gonna start making better content and stop slopping a video out every day. I was on The Witcher 2. It's in my season 1 playlist. When I did The Witcher 2, I said that from after I finished that video, I said from this moment on, I am taking this seriously. This is my moment. I'm gonna do things for if this works, I'm gonna start taking this more seriously and start putting more effort into this, and I'm actually gonna give this a go. And if it doesn't work out, if I don't see some decent substantial growth over my first year, if I'm still hovering around 100 subs, I will cut it off. I will be done. And it worked. The video did really well. And I slowly started getting that ball rolling ever since. And the reason I started this type of content was I wanted to give more value to my audience. And you might not think this type of content is valuable, but I started noticing a lot of bigger creators did this. You got a lot of your stream creators clipping their stuff and putting it on YouTube. And I said, why am I not doing that? I stream. I can be entertaining. I fucking come on here and make the best jokes ever. So why don't I keep doing that? And it's all about this growth process. And it's all about how do you consistently keep getting better. And that's something I want my audience and every audience out there to know. Just keep getting better.
Mount Everest is underwater.
Queso is commonly the butt of the joke. He's very rarely seen putting others down, and his most viewed clips are at his own expense.
What'd you just say to me, buddy?
I said, I just hope the beam doesn't break.
Why would it break?
No? Jump, come on.
No. Why would the beam break? Explain. Chat. Dude, am I that large? Oh my goodness, there's no way I'm this large.
So why is this?
Dude, before I get to that, if I hold my keyboard up, right? Dude, my hands, bro. My hands are so small. I got little fucking baby bird hands. I'm over here with the smallest little baby hands imaginable. Look how fucking... I have child hands. I look like those stupid TikTokers that put the little baby hands on. I got these fucking micro hands that are absolutely worthless. They have no utilization. They're not good on anything. The only thing they're good at is making my micro penis look big. That's it. That's the only value they bring to me. And I saw Queso's giant hands, and I'm like, unfortunate. But if he has a small dick, that's big sad because he can't even see it while he's stroking. And like everybody likes to see what they're doing sometimes.
Important. Well, let's think about a late night conversation. When one person begins to open up, it's met with the same. There's a huge difference between answering these comments with legitimate hatred and being a good sport and even playing into the joke. One side says, this is no place for imperfections or insecurities, not yours, not mine, no one's. And then walls go up between the streamer and the chat and more division is created. The other says, my walls are down, poke some fun, I don't mind being vulnerable. And after a little time, chatter's walls come down as well, and then a connection is made. This is how the scenarios are created, where I call Queso dumb in chat, everyone laughs, but then one of my friends calls Queso dumb in real life, and I beat him to a pulp, because no one talks about Queso like that.
Hey, there's something about being in on the joke. There's always something about being in on the joke, and that's what it comes into entertaining. It's about having that back and forth. It's one of the reasons I always try to engage with my chat as much as fucking possible. I love when people come in and make fun of me, and I'll make fun of you back, dude. I will be a little toxic back, and it's like, I want you to know if you're ever in here and I try to make fun of you back, I love you. I don't hate you. There's no hate in my heart, dude. I just want you to have a good time. But if we were going to be making fun of me, I'm going to be making fun of me. I'll make fun of you a little bit. It's just fun. It's just fun. That's what you should do. You should be able to like come in and it should be a fun experience.
If you want to ride a wave, you need to be in a place where waves form. Queso's first live stream was to almost 80 people. How is this even possible? People stream every day for years to one viewer and don't see any growth. When Queso finally decided to begin streaming, he did not open Twitch. He opened TikTok. 2K was just coming out and he knew no one would ever be able to find him at the bottom of the queue on Twitch. He knew his time would be better spent on getting discovered. He jumped right on the wave of 2K, uploaded 3 videos which were funny moments of Case pretending to be streaming 2K. TikTok's algorithm, desperate to serve the hungry 2K audience with content, scooped Case up right away, and the next morning he woke up to 10,000 followers. Queso seized the opportunity and went live to catch the wave he had formed from not only 2K, but the huge wave that had formed from TikTok. Over time, he saw his streams start to decline, going from 900 all the way down to 150 viewers. Case knew he had to switch up his stream. But how do you switch up a stream successfully in a place where there are no waves? Case decided to follow the exact same formula that gave him success the first time around. Hogwarts Legacy had just come out, and a viral Hogwarts Legacy TikTok sent Case a viewer bump of 450. Eventually, he was able to start stream up, leading with Hogwarts Legacy, which no longer branded Case as a 2K streamer. His narrow lane was now an open field.
And that's something important. Don't ever. So there's this thing about niches that people will tell you. And this is something that I've vehemently fought against on my channel. And I think that I've actually seen good growth because of it. And I've noticed that a lot of people that I've always like watched don't just make one type of content. Your massive creators don't just make one style of content. They do a bunch of different shit. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you gotta find your niche. You gotta find your niche. Your niche is great, but it has a stopping point. Like, in some cases, like your Mr. Beasts and stuff, yeah, it's a little different. But you can look at so many channels that are overly massively successful, like your Moist Criticals, your Some Ordinary Gamers, your Oompavilles, where they branch out to so many different topics, so many different things. Your Wendigoons, where they're honestly always doing different types of stuff, and people tune in because they want to see them. And it's not, they're not there because of the topic, they're there because of the person. And I think that that's what I've really wanted to do with my channel. I know that I'm over here just fucking, well, I'm a silly fat guy that fucking makes my small penis jokes or whatever. I want people to want to hear those small penis jokes. I want people to want to, like, oh, is he going to talk about cum nados? Or is he going to talk about how, like, weird pastors jerk off from the ceiling that for some reason they're demons and like to crawl across the semen? There's already semen on the ceiling that they crawl across. That's how they're able to stick. But it's like, I want people to come and enjoy it, and I want there to be enough different stuff to where I'm in enough different little locations where they're like, oh, he's funny, I want to go see him. Oh, well, this part of his, this different type of content that he does is good, I'm going to check that out. Oh, he's uploading his opinions on this political issue. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's kind of, yeah, it's like, I can have a million different perspectives and a million different ways you can see me, and different reasons you can enjoy my content. And there's, for almost anybody and everybody, I want there to be some sort of content out there for them. And I think that a lot of people get caught up in the niche thing when I think there's a lot of power in variety as well. Also, you don't get pigeonholed by that niche. So when that niche goes out of relevancy, like let's say you are a 2K player, there's going to be that dip where the 2K stops to matter anymore, like what's happening to Queso, and you need to find something else. Otherwise, you're going to end up like one of these channels that has only that niche. And when the content dries up, I've seen it with Halo creators, where there was that 6-year gap. So you had Halo 5, and content was peak. Complaining about Halo content was peak. Everything was peak because they could consistently ride that wave. But then there was a gap. Long gap. 6 fucking year gap. Then it started back up. And it was just about like replaying the games you've already played, redoing this you've already done, because your fan base expects this one thing from you. They come to you for Halo stuff. They don't come to you for a million different other things. It's just one thing. You brand it around one thing, and it pigeonholes you. It pigeonholes you, and it will stimulate or ruin your growth.
The idea of streaming had been in Case's head for 7 years. He had seen Nadeshot play video games for a living and knew he wanted to do the same. He had actually bought equipment in 2015, made a few YouTube videos, but then stopped. Why? Queso had the worst internet. He also worked 2 jobs and lived dreading the next day that he had to go to work. And the culture behind wanting to make a living as a content creator was nowhere near as solidified as it is today. This stream was nothing but looked down on. Not a single thing was going right for Case. For 7 years, the equipment sat. Case continued to deal with life, family obligations, financial burdens, and bad internet. Even one day at the dollar store, his card declined. He ran out of the store shamed. His mom had heard him complain about work repeatedly, day after day, week after week. And taking a car ride with him, September of 2022, told him to give streaming another try. He had the equipment, he just had to start stream.
Well, the reason that I gave it another shot again in general was because of my mom.
It only takes one person to see you, know.
I'm so lucky for what I have right now. I work a full-time job. I go into my 9 to 5, do my thing, and then I come and do this YouTube shit on the side. And I also take my weekends, and one of my weekend days is making a YouTube video for my Friday upload. I sit down and I edit everything. And if it wasn't for the support of my wife, and like, obviously my daughter is fucking a baby, so she doesn't know how to support shit. She just stares at you. And it's cute as fuck. And honestly, the best part of my day is when I come home and I get to see her smile at me, and nothing's better than that. If I had to choose between YouTube right now, if over the tomorrow I wake up and this stream had a gajillion fucking views, it was pushed into the algorithm harder than anything else in the goddamn world, and I had a choice between choosing that moment when I get home, when I see my family, or streaming, if I had to choose between those, I would dip this shit in a minute. But luckily, my family supports me. My wife supports me. Even with all my gross jokes and everything that she has to put up with, she's amazing, and she stays there, and it's like, it's what matters. It's about the people around you being supportive of what you do. It's so important. I mean, that's why this stream I have of being successful on this platform stays alive, is because I have people in my corner fighting for me. And I think, and I do feel bad for people out there that have this stream too, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I've tried to do anything with people on my Discord, even though my Discord can get kind of toxic. I'm not, like, it goes crazy. I don't know what happens on that thing. I've always been vehemently for free speech, so I try not to censor things to the most part. I don't want any NSFW, and I don't want the N-word on my Discord, but I usually allow everything else, and I allow the chat to kind of bicker amongst themselves to figure out problems, and I will input here and there to try to direct the conversation in the right direction. So my Discord is kind of crazy, but if you ever want like advice, I will happily DM you, and and like talk to you about your channel and get you in contact with other people to try to get you at least talking with other YouTubers. I mean, it's always about having people in your corner, and even if you just like watching my videos and it's helping you out, like if I can help one person, that's great. Even if my jokes help you, like when I do tell jokes, this is kind of been a drier fucking run. This is shooting blanks and hoping for a kid. This has been kind of dry on that aspect as far as stream, but I feel like always look for inspiration everywhere you go, and if you don't have those people fighting for you in the corner, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong and follow your dream, dude. I think that's what makes this country great, is you have the ability to follow your dream at any moment, and you should. You should. There's millions of success stories every day, every second, and don't give up on your dream ever. And like, I don't know. I feel really blessed with the people I have in my life, the people I have in my corner every single day.
You and push you to take that extra step. If that day Queso had ignored his mom, shrugged it off, rejected her idea, he would still be a nobody. Except the mere success of Queso proves this isn't true. His explosive growth, his humbleness and kindness remaining consistent despite of his success, and the pain points he endured for years, similar to our own, proves. Whether you have 2 fans or 6.3 million, every so-called nobody has always been a somebody.
That's cool. This is a really inspiring video. Not very long, very to the point. Give Humphrey McDumphrey some love. I mean, he hasn't uploaded a lot. Seems like he's making kind of inspiring content.
There are 3 things that happened.
This was from a month ago. I hope he keeps making content. This is good. Maybe do a little more long form, do some like actual breakdown stuff. I think this guy has a lot of potential to be a really good creator. But the message here is so valid. Just go out there and do it. Just keep working. Just keep grinding. Just like, don't give up on yourself, and build people around you. Look for people around you that are going to build you up as well. If your parents aren't supportive, because I know there are people out there that don't have supportive parents, find people that will support you. Not like, maybe not financially or whatever. Don't be a leech. Don't be a fucking like gooner where you're just sucking off of the tit of them. But find people that are willing to fight in your corner and believe in you and say, hey, you can do this. Keep doing it. And just keep grinding. That is the most important thing I want everybody to know, is the grind is real. And if you can keep on that grind and keep getting better day by fucking day, you will see success. That's all I got for you guys today. I think I'm ready